guys, what's going on? FI My Pawn here, and welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Since we last left off, if I do recall correctly, Vorg was just leaving the planet of Janus, and we explored a few planets in our way to make our way over to Dargonus. And for this stream, we are going to reach Dargonus, and we are hopefully going to be able to clear the planet. And, you know, get stronger along the way. But we'll have to see what happens. Ultimately, there's going to be a lot of stuff, but I digress. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream, and without further ado, let's get into things and see what happens. Alright, so if I recall correctly with Dargonus, we are actually getting really close there, so we just have to manage to get over there, really. Because we're like 1 or 2 jumps away, I think, before we reach there, so it's just a matter of exploring the space systems to there, and we should be good to go. Mind you, I am pushing to rush all these points, so that is why I've been moving around a lot. So we are going to make an effort to clear as much as we possibly can within a short period of time, but we'll have to see. For now, though, let's order some shipping and transportation goods to start off with. Alright. We've managed to get some nice little stuff here. Nothing too crazy, just a few items. Let's show tradable, pass over what we can over to the Drusians. And we've managed to get enough to where we can actually net 9. Or get 4 more large medkits, which is really going to help us. There is a number of other things that we can get, to be fair. Let's see, Radiant Gloves. 5 to parry reduction. If the wearer has Conviction Iconoclast, all allies gain 10 plus 2 times Iconoclast hit chance against enemies adjacent to the wearer. Okay. So that's good if you have a allies, which is not something we have. Heavy Flamer, it is an option if we wish to use that as a combat preference, which is going to have a sizable range of 6 as compared to anything else. It's interesting to say the least, but not something we need. Melta's always nice, and Meltas in this game are a bit questionable on damage, but it works out in the end. Whereas critical hit chance in melee combat is increased by 2 times agility bonus. That's for light armor. That's impressive. Okay. I think out of anything, the biggest boon here is obviously the Heavy Bolter. It is a 6 to 9 to hit. Would it be better than the M40 autogun? It does seem like it is rocking more of a bonus, but it lacks that over-penetration, and it does lack... Yeah, no, other than that, it's got a bit too more AP cost, I do believe. I do believe there are ways to reduce that, though, so there is options available to us. But we'll have to see. Let me check just to be certain, actually. If I go into character here, archetypes, let's go, say, into skills here. Well, maybe not skills, but talents. I should probably get close quarters training, to be quite honest. Getting that two-handed melee weapon usage in melee would be really nice, I must admit. Here we go. Heavy Gunner. The Arc Militant's heavy weapon attacks cost one less action point. That's probably what we're going to be utilizing for the most part, next to reducing the weight of such heavy weapons, but we'll have to see. We'll get into heavy weapons eventually, it's just a matter of time, more than anything. Alright, but with that, I do believe we just need to head on out. So let's go to... Well, before we do, actually, there is one thing I do want to do. It's just a matter of finding her. Here we go. No, that's Abel. That's not who we're talking about. Jay's there. We need to talk... We need to do a talk with somebody in particular. Here we go. We'll save. There we go. Urlet's lithe form stands frozen in an unnatural pose amid the blinking lumens and dancing shadows of the bridge. Her hands are clasped together strangely, and her eyes are tightly closed. Her chest is utterly still, as if she's not breathing at all. This is new. Your words are met with deafening silence, but the flicker of Urlet's eyes beneath her closed lids lets you know that she's still alive at least. Have I done something to offend you? For the first time, Urlet takes a deep breath in through her nose and barely audibly exhales. Her body remains as relaxed as ever, and her eyes are still closed. Your presence does not seem to be in any way distracting for her. I shall come see you later, then.
A reasonable thought, but one that occurred too late to your inquisitive mind. You have gotten what you wanted. Your clamorous presence has pulled me from my immersion. So tell me, what brings you here?
You were in a deep special Aldari meditation, weren't you?
Yes. I am sometimes surprised by the depth of your knowledge of my kind's customs, Alantark. But even if listening is your only skill, that in itself elevates you above billions of other monkey. My meditation is immersion. Immersion into myself, my inner world. It is my chance to speak to myself, but without words, or to heal wounds that cannot be seen with ordinary sight. It is difficult to explain, even in the language of the children of Asurian. There are so many meanings and shades in its sound alone, and the monkey tongue is too sparse and awkward. No. Immersion must be seen to be realized. I should say, Alantark, that during meditation, the mind does not leave the body. Part of it remains vigilant, monitoring what is taking place outside. So I heard every word you said, and I saw everything you did.
Urlet lets her eyes half closed, giving herself over to the memories while still watching.
I am disappointed by your lack of restraint, I will admit. Every day, you become more primitive, more like other monkey. Do not allow your bestial nature to win out. I can see that there is more to you than that.
Could you not have answered immediately?
If I could have, do you think I would have abided your irrational behavior?
I wasn't... What? Okay, whatever. So you knew I was here the whole time and didn't even bat an eye.
Immersion requires concentration and unity of mind, body, and spirit. Entering this state unprepared, or coming out of it suddenly, can be harmful.
But regardless, we have pressing matters to discuss. I've been mulling over our conversation. I think I can understand why you do not like people. But I think there's something else. Something I cannot understand.
What do I see? Your words ring with the desire to know the soul of another. But will you be able to comprehend my answer? You and I, Elantak, look at this world in very different ways. And I see many more facets, and deeper meanings, and brighter colors in it. But to capture the full truth of this world in the miserly language familiar to your ears will take time. I will come to you with an answer later.
Strange and blasphemous things started happening during the first warp voyage with you on board. The crew are whispering that you may be the reason. Is this true?
The minions of She Who Thirsts could sense my soul behind the thick walls and thin veil that separate your fragile lives from the roiling fury outside. A child of Asurian that dared to wander beyond the veil, within the reach of an outstretched claw, protected only by the barrier of unreliable monkey technology. It is too tempting a quarry for the monsters that serve Cylon Thresh. Our ships never venture beyond the veil, and I never traveled the way you do, monkey. Ilantak, I admit this was a novel experience. I lost composure, let dismay into my heart, and almost strayed from the path. This moment of hesitation drew the attention of She Who Thirsts. But I summoned my will and used the knowledge of meditation to achieve balance, and hide my soul behind an impenetrable wall of resolve. Future journeys beyond the veil will still be difficult, but I will steel my heart and not let the hounds of Cylon Thresh pick up my scent ever again.
Footfall is abuzz with rumors about Xeno's ravaging the sector. You think that could it be your kin from Kudalrik? Rash?
Is that snake venom seeping from your lips? We, the children of Azurian, are no strangers to the art of war. We are not raiders, or butchers, or least of all, fools. When a craft world is beset by calamity, its inhabitants do not start a war with every monkey in the sector. If you are looking for enemies, look for them elsewhere.
What happened to your homeworld?
It is a mystery as inscrutable as the sigh of the last immortal, as deep as the waters of a dark ocean. And I can tell you little, for I was far away, on a mission with my unit. We returned at the appointed hour, but we did not find Kruderok in its celestial harbor. It happened many turns ago, or standard years, as you say. But I remember that moment as if it happened this very day. The memory of a loss is always stronger than the memory of a gain, especially when you lose something as significant as a home, or an entire world. We searched, we called out, we looked everywhere, but we saw only emptiness and the echo of calamity. Countless days passed before I found myself on the Lilithon and met some of my kin. Those refugees who had barely managed to reach our ancestral planet. Their stories were far from being the fruit of truth I so badly craved. Those who agreed to talk to me were few, for most saw me as a wayward daughter who had spurned the honorable paths. And they would not stop babbling about a terrible disease that spread black tendrils of pain over the paths of the Infinity Circuit and deadened our world one segment after another. The ones who survived fled in fear and wandered between the stars, until the Lilithon's warm light reached out to some of them. Some, like Muaran, lay the blame entirely on Monkey. However, I do not know the truth, but I hope, oh, I desperately hope and pray to the gods that someday it will be revealed to me.
What is the Infinity Circuit?
Is idle curiosity a defining feature of the Monkey? Or are you trying to learn about the weaknesses of my people so you can destroy another world of the children of Asurion? Forgive me, Elentark, but I am not ready to immerse you in the font of my people's deepest mysteries.
Alright. What was your world like before it fell?
Cruderach cannot be described in your language. It can only be sung, encased in a filigree of sounds, a melody as complex and delicate as the Infinity Circuit, its energy network. It can be seen in the golden hues of sunlight, felt in the breath of celestial winds. Though it was an artificial world, it was just as alive as any real planet. But I must see clearly. Not only light, but also shadows. I yearn to remember only Cruderach's beauty, but it had a dark side too. My world was isolated for too long. Like a lake of stagnant water, there was no movement or renewal, and even the sweetest outbursts of life soon turned fetid. Who knows? Who knows? Had there been no stagnation, had our elders not been so blind in their dogmatism and our youths not lacking in courage, then perhaps Cruderach would still be alive even now?
How do your craft worlds even work?
Is idle curiosity
Alright, what can you tell me about the history of the
Monkey?
Eldari then?
I am afraid your life is too fleeting, and your memory too feeble to encompass the entirety of my knowledge. My people ruled the stars when yours did not even have a name. But many of our songs and stories were lost, stolen by she who thirsts. I can tell you the children of Asurion lived, created, caressed the stars as if they were pearls on a string, until Cylon Thresh smothered our empire in her terrifying embrace. Different branches of the Eldari chose different paths to salvation. My ancestors chose an eternal journey through the starry void, living on craft worlds instead of real planets. We rescued countless wonders from the days before, but far from all. You saw this on the Lilithen. Not even we can always master the gates our ancient ones built. This is the story of the Asuriani. There are branches that chose a different path, gruesome and frightening. But I do not wish to tell you about them. That is our dark side, just as your kin have many dark sides of their own.
True, true. You keep mentioning She Who Thirsts. What can you tell me about her?
Why ask this question? Is it idle curiosity, or something else? Do not turn your thoughts towards Cylon Thresh, whatever your motive. She is downfall. She is hunger. She is the enemy of all that is good in the universe. She is an enemy to the Eldari, and I hope to you as well.
The Chaos Gods are the enemies of the Imperium, which means they are my enemies. You can be sure of that.
We are as different as starlight and its reflection in a muddy puddle. But we share a common enemy. Constancy is our strength.
I've learned what I wanted to know.
As you wish, Elentark.
Okay.
What do you wish to talk about?
I don't think I need to know anything here.
The words of truth sound like music. This is what our people say.
What do you think is happening on Janus right now?
the Lilithon is purifying herself of the corruption brought by the servants of Cylon Thrash. Gardens and birds, animals and people. Many are gone forever, and even more are corrupted beyond healing. But the Lilithon is stronger. This world will live. My kin are probably still looking for a means to enter the webway. May the Lilithon spirit aid them in this endeavor. Beyond the gate lies salvation, and perhaps even knowledge about the fate of Kruderok and the remaining survivors.
Alright. Why did you agree to join me? Is it not strange for an Aldari to be following human?
The outcasts my path led me to had a saying. Let me translate it for you. If you fall off a cliff, grab the roots and do not ask if they belong to a weed or a noble rosebush. You are the root I grabbed, Ilantak, because I fell off a cliff. My homeworld is gone. My kin are either dead or hiding no one knows where. By joining forces with you, I may be able to nurture a seedling of the truth I so deeply yearn for.
Very well. I must take my leave. Okay, so I couldn't really do anything with that, unfortunately. I thought there was something more I could do, but whatever. It's no big deal. I think something interesting is going to evolve from it, no matter what, so we'll have to see how things pan out. Regardless, we are going to chart new routes. I do believe we've already explored that. Yep, so let's visit this uncharted system and see what we find. And see what we come across. We got some Shar Strip remains, we got a Hulk here. We certainly got a lot to cover, to say the least. So we'll start by taking our time here to explore and going from here. Alright, begin scan. Alright, we got Valley of Sleep. We will save here just to be safe. Alright. We can study the gas with a 27% chance of success. Somehow we managed to make it. After a series of experiments, the ship's weaponsmiths managed to perfect a few different types of ammunition. In doing so, we've managed to make some gas cloud grenades. A small boon, to say the least, but a boon all the same. I'm not going to complain. And hey, each time we scan a planet, we're getting 50 experience, so I'm not complaining. We're getting swole the more times we do this, so... yeah. The augurs have detected wreckage in the Void ship's vicinity, but the exact nature of this wreckage remains unclear. Let's look for the source of the wreckage. The augur crews report that it's registered no evidence of a disaster that could have produced such debris. Let's pick up several pieces. Some of the wreckage is made of plasteel, the rest is some unknown material. Studying the fragments further is nigh impossible due to severe corrosive damage. The non-metallic fragments also bear burn marks. Alright, we got a little bit of plasteel for that. Nice. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's might as well collect it and get going. We've got plasteel here. Honestly, we don't need that, so we can probably just keep going. And with the scan here, we should be fine. Bada boom. Smuggler's Cache has a bunch of medkits. We are definitely going to be using those, I know that for a fact, so we'll grab those, and we'll be on our merry way. I think with that, that's the majority of this area explored, so let's just get out, and we should be good. Alright, and now we've reached the final point in our journey, which is Mundus Valentius. This is going to be a very core thing for us. So we're going to save here, I do believe. And we're going to just warp our way over once we actually reduce the difficulty down to unsafe. Alright, with that, we will now warp travel over to Mundus Valentius. There we go. It is an uncharted system. We now need to restore the apparatus here. as much as we possibly can. Lord Captain, Master Helmsman is on the line. I can report that the quest for the capital world of the Von Valencius dynasty is finally at an end. Dargonus is straight ahead. We have received countless greetings. Your subjects would like to know when the Master is going to be arriving. The merchant captains taking refuge in the orbital docks of Dargonus race to send you priceless welcoming gifts, hoping to buy your favor and make an impression on the rogue trader. Tell Dargonus the rogue trader is coming home. It will be done, Captain. After the connection to the Master Helmsman is cut, the device crackles with Heinrich's voice. Lord Captain, I'll be pleased to accompany you during your visit on Dargonus, so I can personally introduce Archelius Scantler, a servant of the Golden Throne who previously attended Lady Theodora on Dargonus. I'm counting on your benevolence. Okay, great, lovely. Alright, well, we're gonna scan here, let's see. We've got Floyston here. We are actually going to set up an extraction for these. That is a really good planet to have. We are going to scan here. Let's see what we find. Nothing. But that's perfectly fine. We just need to keep doing scans and we should be good. Alright, and with that, before we do hit football, let's go into our journal here. Contracts. We need Xenotech before we can upgrade our shady dealings. Before we do go on to planets, we are going to go on to colony management here and see if we need to upgrade anything. Your Lordship, there are alarming reports coming from Janus. A number of strange mutations have been spotted among the population in remote agri-complexes. Aside from the obvious disfigurement and the subsequent enragement, these mutants, called wretches, by the rest of the colonists, are coming together to practice a primitive form of religion involving ritual worship of the land. While they display no disobedience or hostility, their very existence is concerning. The Janus nobility humbly waits your decision. What do we know about these wretches? Their mutation causes the loss of skin pigment and the shedding of hair. The eyes of some have started developing a nictitating membrane similar to that of reptiles. Others succumb to the progressively atrophy of the larynx, causing the loss of human speech. At the same time, their tendons become denser and more elastic, providing increased endurance and load resistance. The wretches are commonly ostracized due to their grotesque appearance. There haven't been many cases of mob justice yet, but they'll become commonplace after mutations' deformities become more obvious. The wretches tend to form groups with similarly affected people. Their average level of intellect is low. They all belong to the labor caste and communicate among themselves, using a primitive vernacular of their own invention. As for the barbaric religion, they are defying both the soil of Janus itself. Both the soil and Janus itself. To them, working the agri-complexes is a form of worship, which has led to positive impact on productivity. What do my advisors have to say? I saw your agent's pict recordings. The signs these monkeys leave behind their idols, and I cannot deny a pathetic, though extremely abstract connection to the symbol of my people. Their guttural prayers echo the sounds of the children of Syrian speech. The probability of them having come into such close contact with our civilization is non-existent, yet they are still somehow connected. Protect these people. Resettle them to distant abodes where they will not be harmed for their particularities, and keep watch. Someday the truth may be revealed. The blessed sanction of the Imperium does not grace these mutants, but nor does it declare their existence anathema. Should we sentence them without further study? There are mutants whose existence is fully sanctioned, such as organs, ratlings, pariahs, heligears, fernids, or troths. Our library has many treatises on the generator's craft, and I could impart some of that knowledge to your servants. Purely theoretical, of course. This mutation has not been properly studied. and is missing from the catalog. I am not registering a basis for delaying the commencement of immediate genetic purification. I recommend launching a thorough investigation on the genetic makeup of these forbidden strains. Ooh, this is what I was talking about. Okay, so we need to choose the one that's actually going to get us the benefits here. Okay, so we have three options. So we can either go with the boost to security and the secrets of mutated flesh, which will give us 10 Medicae, 1 security, and -1 efficiency. We can take the required amount of them, which will reduce our security, but give us a boost to efficiency, and the boost to Medicae. Or, we can go as far as to resettle them, which will give us +1 security, and probably the best iconoclast item in the game, the Heart of the Nameless. It gives you a +10 to lore Xenos, but if you are an adherent iconoclast figure, you gain a +10 to all skills. I don't think I need to say what I'm going to go with. I feel these monkey are going to have been touched by something wondrous. The mutants will be resettled to a distant agri-complexes where their unorthodox appearance will not put them in danger of being massacred by the serfs. The mutants were put under surveillance. One of the watchmen spotted a mysterious relic in the hands of a group of wretches that turned out to be an item of Xeno origin. It is unlikely the mutants understood the nature of the object they worshipped. But yeah, after taking that artifact, that is really going to help us a lot. Let's see. The Secrets of the Winter Scales, the Science of Virtue. By doing this, we will get a rep boost with the Drusians at the cost of the Rose of Zamkind. But considering we're not going the Cospadal route, we are fine. So let's see, we could go this route or this route. Dart Sages would give us the bonus to damage against Xenos, which we aren't really going to be relying on much, I don't think. Pollen of the Unreal. This is a Caspala mission item, but we don't really do that. But the Science of Virtue is certainly something interesting. Let's see. The Wirasai rating is increased by 1 against daemons for each rank of Dogmatic. It can only be applied by a sanctioned psyker. We do get Drusian's complacency and at the cost of efficiency, though. Or a Drusian rep, which is always going to be nice. The Cure for Sloth is just a boost of efficiency for every group, which is always nice. Reaping, I mean, it's a benefit. Let's see. But we need to complete the, we need to complete Giants, essentially. If we want to get the Cure for Sloth, we need chemicals. The Secrets of the Winter Scales. Considering we've done Blood and Nephilim, we can always grab this. It's going to cost us some food, but we can get some Promethium and chemicals, which would give us the Cure for Sloth. However, I'm going to start with the Drusian rep, because obviously that's just good for us. It is going to suck out some efficiency here, but it's a small price to pay for rep and complacency. And complacency is always nice, so why not? Alright, we're going to go for the Science of Virtue. This is going to lock us out of Rose of Zamarkand, but it's probably for the best that we do that way. Good Tidings is almost complete, and once it's done, we can actually invest in something else, I imagine. But we'll have to see. I think the biggest thing for us right now is the Crusade, like I said, but I digress. Alright. Yep, we relocated the wretches into the... Yep. We tested the faith of the Malfians' faith. There we go. Alright, we're doing well on the planet stuff. Alright, let's save here. I'm quite satisfied with those results. In fact, I do believe I need to now equip the item that I was going on about real quick. Here we go. Now, what am I going to replace? I guess the Combat Manipulator would probably be the most ideal, because having the 1 AP less on the healing is really doing us numbers. That said, to be fair, we haven't really been using medkits that much now, because we are slowly getting more and more swole, so we'll swap it. But yeah, no, having a +10 to all stats is really good for us. I don't think I need to elaborate how good it is. I mean, look at those juicy stats. Oof. Now, there is other things that will boost your stats up even further, I do believe. I'm not sure where we're going to find it, but we'll have to make do. But yeah. The +10 to stats is always nice. That's just going to help us a lot. Lord Captain, a transport shuttle bearing the markings of Adeptus Mechanicus is approaching the ship. Magos Tarzus delegation intends to board the ship to gain an audience with your lordship. This is exactly how they praised it. He intends, not humbly requests. Many of my tech comrades neglect diplomacy when interacting with laity. It is regrettable. What do they want? The honorable servants of the Omnissiah have ignored our request. Such arrogance is hardly trivial. It rather appears to be part of their intimidation tactics. Receive the delegation. They may indeed be here on important business. If not, I will insult them. It will be done, Lord Captain. Requesting permission to be present at the audience granted to my tech comrades. We're going to take out everybody else, but Pascal and me is going to be going over to see what's going on and what this whole issue was about to begin with. Hopefully, it's not something too crazy. Or annoying, to say the least. We will see in due time. As for weaponry, weapons, we should probably go with the sword and board as we have been. We'll go from there.
Left in the dust.
Pascal, you go in the back. Yeah, no, Pascal, we want you in the back, so... Whatever, it doesn't matter. There we go, we get moved into position anyways. A group dressed in the crimson of the priesthood of Mars walks out towards you. Their gazes are fixed on Pascal. You note that the group is not monolithic. Some of its members are more heavily armed and follow a large tech priest clad in battle armor. Others keep a respectful distance and cast inquiring looks at their own leader, whose hunched posture, belies his tall frame. Despite the hood hiding his face, you recognize him as Opticon 22, whom you encountered on Footfall. The enormous tech priest's hand points his hand at Pascal and lets out a booming roar, not unlike a factory alarm. It makes your very bones vibrate. Herald servo skulls marked with the emblem of the cog follow in his wake. They blare shrilly. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic in thy forge, for rust begets rust. Pascal Hahnemann is the name of the Adeptus Mechanicus. You are under arrest. The hunched servant of the Omnissiah turns to you. Diplomacy mode engaged. Announcement. The Adeptus Mechanicus, offer their apologies, would like to inform you of the necessity of conducting an operation to detain, arrest, terminate a faulty unit under Rogue Trader's territory. You identify the rare armor the enormous tech priest is wearing as a Secultur's plated mechanized suit. It carries the imprints of many battles, and has markings that announce its status as a relic. Some of the armor's damage look fairly severe, to the point of endangering its operation. The slivers of flesh revealed under the steel are marked with terrible chemical burns. Every now and again, convulsions shake the tech priest's body, and a painful sounding hiss comes from his vox. The tall tech priest who spoke to you looks more peaceful and makes a point of not drawing his weapon. There is an air of concern about the way he frequently glances over at his fellow, scrutinizing his condition. Who are you? In a burst of chattering, the servo skull hastens to translate their master's mighty binary howl. An instrument of the Omnissiah authorized to punish and exact vengeance, known by the designation Tarzus Hahnemann. Identification code recognized and confirmed. These units are who they declare themselves to be. On what charge are you trying to arrest a member of my retinue? This heretic is accused of stealing personal identification codes, spreading tech heresy on the world of Kiavagama, and making an attempt on the life of servant of the Omnissiah. The deafening roar from the tech priest Vox makes you grimace in pain. You touch your ear and notice blood on your fingers. The faulty unit will be removed. In the name of Omnissiah, I will condemn you. Lightning flashes across the warrior's armor. Agony resounds in the bizarre blare of his Vox alarm. In contrast, Pascal speaks quietly and coldly. You are malfunctioning, tech comrade. I deem your logical conclusions questionable. This statement is false, tech brother. Tech brother Tarzus Hanuman is willingly undergoing holy /torment / deterioration, which, however, does not critically affect his cognitive capability for data analysis. Unit calling himself Pascal Hanuman, we have information that implicates you, having learned that you are a member of the retinue, a maintenance specialist in the service of Rogue Trader von Valencius. We have come here with the goal of meeting you, intercepting you, engaging you in combat. Do you have proof this tech priest is who he claims to be? Well, no, pretty obvious that he's a high-ranking individual. What is happening on Kiavagama? That planet belongs to me. According to Vox interception data, the planet fabricator sensor made incorrect, blasphemous modifications to malfunction the manufactorum, working procedures which qualifies as a lapse into sacrilege. The Adeptus Mechanicus are hereby officially notifying the House von Valencius of having commended an investigation into Operation to Remove Fabricator Sensors Cubus Delphim. Estimated time to procedure completion, 3.7 solar years. Our data suggests that the unit, which used to be Magos Explorator Hanuman's identification code, performed an unauthorized upgrade on the planetary Vox array and introduced data deemed to be scrap code into its operation. This fact points to the unit to criminal complacency within the heretic Cubus Delphim. Alright, what do you have to say to this, Pascal? Pascal replies firmly, his vox crackling with a hint of indignation. I deny these charges. I never plotted against my tech comrade. My cognitive purity vows were never distorted. My unique identification code was never stolen. I am the true Magos Explorator Hanuman, and I am not guilty. The tech priest's deep guttural roar blends with the servo skull's high-pitched whine. False witness! I'm not handing Pascal over to you unless I see evidence. Let us get to the bottom of this matter together. Request approved. Ready to work in a cooperative mode. Tarzus gives you a haughty look and lets out a howl of wrath. Archiving Tech Brother Tarzus opposes lay participation in the investigation, Search for the Truth. The unit Opticon 22 advises in favor of the House of Valencia's representatives' participation request. I insist on a joint investigation. Arresting a rogue trader's retinue member without any justification stands as a breach of law and my privileges under the warrant of trade. Request for cooperation reviewed and accepted. I request Tech Brother Tarzus' consent to the cooperation of representatives of the von Valencius dynasty in the investigation proceedings. A sacrilegious conspiracy. I refuse to help from laypersons. I am a cog of Deus Mechanicus that grinds down corruption, and I will carry out this sentence immediately. Pascal freezes, but green sparks light from his visor. He extends a hand towards Tarsus and replies in a clinging voice. Let the cycle be discontinued. You realize Pascal's words are coming from both his own Vox and Tarsus's. Then every sensor on the Executioner's battle harness lights up at once, blindingly, and the wounded armored Leviathan lets out a deafening roar of pain. Attention! Priority notification. Servant units of the Kappa Thread supply line are unauthorized to confront the Rogue Trader. Command. Retreat and reinitiate negotiations. Heretic Pascal, I will wreak punishment upon you in the name of Deus Mechanicus.
You will beg for mercy.
Oh boy.
But I will grant none. Your Emperor won't save you.
Alright, go right back here. We are gonna move right over to... Yeah, no, I guess we're gonna have to deal with a bunch of servitors, as well as the sharpshooters here. Oh boy, a lot of high threat foes. What will we do now? Alright, well, whatever. I guess we are just gonna go ham on these guys, I guess. Concentrated fire. Rapid fire.
I'll see to it personally.
Let's swap over to the gun here. Yeah, let's aim for this here.
Taking calculated risk is my second.
Alright, it's not the most ideal circumstance, but whatever. We should be able to deal some really good damage here by comboing the ever-living hell out of him and his units. Yeah, we're just gonna blast a bunch of units here with one volley here.
The best
There we go.
is a good offense.
And let's use a... Yeah, let's use a run and gun. We don't really necessarily need to run and gun here, but we do need to get one more shot off to get 2 stacks of versatility. Even if we do miss. We will swap to the sword and board stat. There we go, and we're going to go with cautious approach here.
See to it personally.
And this should bolster our statistics a little bit. As for Pascal, we're just going to immediately march him away from everybody. So that way he's not the target of anything that comes our way. Ow! Lovely. Okay, we took some serious damage, but it could be worse, to be fair. Oh, we're getting exposed. But kind of expected, to be honest. Yeah, we keep getting exposed. Interesting. Gonna have a bit of a rough time there, but we'll be fine, I think. Here comes the servitor. Hopefully not for an aggressive attack, which he does come for. Oh god. Alright, let's activate concentrated fire and rapid fire just to have it on hand. There we go. We are going to... Let's save here, just to be safe. It's probably gonna require us to reload, to be quite honest, but it's fine. We're gonna go for a Fada swing here. There we go, this deals some significant damage. We are then going to hope that's enough, really. Pascal, just back up again. There we go. Keep you as far away as we possibly can. We take some serious damage. Could be worse, but oh. Why'd you take out your ally? Tarsus being weird as hell, but whatever, I guess. That's a lot of damage against us, huh? Yeah, no, exposed weakness is actually reducing our dodge. Oh god. That's a horrible situation to be in. Okay. Huh. That's not good. Okay, so I'm gonna reload that, because... Oh god, we're gonna be dealing with a lot of, displays of weakness. Oh god, that's really gonna ruin our day, then. I might have to, put... Yeah, I'm gonna have to, distract them, then. Because I don't see us, overcoming this issue with, normal means. Alright, we're just gonna take out everybody here, as intended. But yeah, no, this is gonna be a bit of a difficult fight, I do believe. Getting our, dodge and reduced is really a bad thing for us. It's probably one of the few ways that we're gonna get stopped in most cases.
I always
So, we're gonna save here. This should be fine. There we go. Alright, skip this. There we go. Okay. Alright. There we go. Alright, given the circumstances, I will say... I guess I never did explain this, huh?
I'll make an example out of you.
Well, whatever. It's fine.
To the dark powers.
Not the most ideal circumstance, to say the least. Vorg, we'll get you into full cover at least. The same can be said for Pascal, I suppose. Pascal's probably going to get KO'd here, but that's fine. I guess we'll see how things pan out. Tarzus goes in. Absolutely KOs Pascal. Kind of expected it, though. Ow. Okay, you know what? Maybe we reload here. We ideally want to be the first ones to be doing this, after all, so... Yeah. We want to win the initiative here, because otherwise we just are in a bit of a pickle. Okay. Okay, and...
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Okay, here we go. This is a better initiative. We're gonna save here. We're gonna save on... I guess we'll save on Pain, and just save on Pain 2 if as we need. But yes, no, we need to focus on the Adepts and Sharpshooters, because they seem to be the priority targets above all else. If we can't deal with the priority targets, we're basically done anyway, so... Alright. I think we should be good here. Alright, so... Here's what we're going to do. We are going to... This is going to mean that we don't get cover, per se. But it will be the chance that we need to fight off the majority of the Technomats here. Because it's these three that seem to be causing us the most trouble. So we're just going to start by activating the barrage. We'll activate rapid fire here. Alright, we are going to activate Surefire Plan to give us a damage boost. Now, will this be enough? I don't think it will, but it's certainly going to help if we deal enough damage here. So we will save on... We'll make this pain 2 and be good to go. And we'll just have to pray this is enough.
I'll make it happen.
Barrage, here we go.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Alright, well that's a good start, I suppose. We'll do a run and gun just to be sure that we're doing well. If we move to the corner here, it'll make it a little easier to attack these guys, I suppose. And we can get another pot shot here. There we go. A nice juicy combo hit. We'll go for cautious approach here. We will swap out to a sword and board style here. Alright. Now, just because Pascal is going to be a bit, you know... As long as we don't deal damage to Pascal, I'm going to say most things are going to be fine here. Much like the Pathfinder game that we're running. So I am going to be changing the rules a little bit. Of course, we can use them as heal shuttles. But if we can do this, why not, right? I mean, the abilities are available to us. We might as well, right? Bada boom. We're going to activate that, so that way we've got a debuff of the Machine Spirit Communion. So they are going to suffer some negatives in that regard. Specifically, they are going to suffer a... It is reduced... Alright, enemies. Recoil is increased by half for Tech Priest int bonus in rounds. Allies gain 2 times int bonus increased dodge for 1 plus int bonus rounds. And we're just going to do... Do we use Machine Spirit Communion? Targets with the Rejector Flesh creature or feature suffer 20 shock damage. So as long as we're not hitting anybody with the Reject the Flesh feature, we should be fine. I think it's actually on everybody, though. Yep, Reject the Flesh. Reject the Flesh. Okay, so we can't use the other ability, because that would deal damage, unfortunately. But it is a small price to pay if we were to go this route. What we can do, though, is move Pascal over to here to be a good distraction if needed. So we have options on how we go about things. Alright, the Technomat Adepts are going to start doing their own thing, causing ruckus. Thankfully, we should miss most of those. Or they will miss us quite a bit. Ow. Of course, Deadeye shots are not privy to this. Okay. Ow.
Hold on. Stay with us.
Okay, the servitors are coming in marching. Kind of expected that, though. Okay,
I'm ready for
let's move over to here.
I'll make it.
Alright, we are going to heal here, I guess. This will be ideal. Let's heal. Now I can either deal damage or I can go for a pistol shot. Either way. Yeah, either way it's going to be a bit rough, no matter what we do. Let's go for the pistol shot here. There we go. Get ourselves some well-needed boosts. It's not ideal, but I'll have to do. And here comes the attack. Yep, note they're using all that joint analysis bull and really ruining our day.
Come me a
Yep.
won't stop me.
Okay, we're gonna load that. How? Okay. Servitors are coming in. Oh god. Thankfully the parry's coming in clutch. Otherwise this would be a whole lot worse. Ow.
Can't catch my breath.
It's not really helping us though, clearly. Okay, well, regardless, yeah, let's actually load here. Yeah, we're gonna load here. This'll have to be it. And we'll have to roll with the intent to try and avoid every single shot that they do against us, but I highly doubt we're gonna get that luxury, unfortunately. Well, regardless.
Who, if not me? You should have thought twice before crossing me.
Okay.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
We can go for a triple shot or a single shot. Either way, we need to reduce their HP even further.
Let's make some opportunities.
Let's go here. Yeah, just whittle down this at depth here, I guess.
Personally.
Alright, that's a miss. Alright, now we activate Cautious Approach here. You know, I should probably use Surefire Plan. This would increase our dodge and parry by 25. In addition to everything. That would be ideal. Let's actually load here, because we can do that, I suppose. Right? That's probably for the best. Let's do that. That way we can actually benefit even more from it, so there you go. At the very least, a 25 to dodge and parry would be nice, so why not? Alright, we're gonna go for the combo once again.
It's as good as
Bada
done.
boom.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Okay, we didn't do as much damage, that's fine. We'll
see
do
to it
a
personally.
run and gun here. We are going to use a Surefire Plan to give us a bit of an edge in our defenses.
Don't let your
There we
guard
go.
down. I won't compromise.
Take a
my
pot shot.
principles.
Alright, that's a miss, but whatever. We will now swap to Sword and Board as expected. Alright, we will then activate Cautious
make it
Approach,
happen.
which will give us an edge. Alright. Hopefully this is the right situation. Alright, here we go. And we're going to move all the way over here, so that way Pascal is a distraction for these guys. Hopefully. Oh, this Catarius is going for us. Interesting choice. Alright. Technomat is going after him. Then exposing the weakness of Pascal. That's perfectly fine by me. As long as they're distracted by him, that's better. Yep. Just reducing their the stats of Pascal is probably best for everybody here. Alright, Tarsus is coming in. Oh,
Die on me now.
Mad Slash comes in. Piercing shot misses, thankfully. Oh god, we're suffering a lot of exploits though, so we're probably going to get KO'd here pretty quickly. We'll have to pray that we can overcome these fatal weaknesses here. Okay. We can target this Tech Priest here, but naturally, given the fact that there is really no enemies here that we can avoid, we'll just have to pray this is enough. So we're going to use Surefire Plan here. This will give us an edge in moving.
Strategy.
Or give us an edge in dodge, rather. We're going to move over to here. This is going to be a bit dangerous, but we've got the parry and dodge in our favor. Okay, we are going to... Let's see. Should be able to combo this guy if we luck out here. Alternatively, we can just fire into the barrage here and should be fine. But ideally, we want to focus on the enemy here, so... concentrated fire and rapid fire would deal enough here.
It's as good as done.
Okay, rapid fire, we reduce it down to a sizable chunk, but it's not going to be enough. Well, considering we're not hurt just yet, that's fine.
Personally.
We'll just deal with the +1 benefit and just go from there.
I'll make it happen.
There we go. We can do a reload here at least. Alright, now let's pray this is gonna cut it, because I don't think it will, but you never know. We basically have to beat these guys down within an inch of their life, and that's gonna be a chore, to say the least. But hey, once he goes in, they won't be able to charge in, I do believe, which is gonna be interesting, to say the least. Okay. Exposing the weaknesses and all that jazz. Ow.
Didn't even flinch.
Yeah, we're suffering a massive negative to dodge, but we should be fine. Yep. But none of them can really hurt us, which is the good thing. It appears I can't actually target you either, which is concerning. Ah, they've done that cheeky move where they move into a distance where we can't fire at them with the Orthlak. Damn. Cheeky sods. Alright, well, fine, I guess. Okay, we are going to use a slash here, I guess. Oh, hello. That's an interesting move there. Huh.
I'll make sure to return the favor one day.
What was that? Hold on. How did they counter, though? Huh? I do not know how they countered like that. That was absurd.
It's as good as done.
Okay, well, whatever, I guess.
I'll see to it personally.
Alright, well, that's me. I can't really move anywhere, because I'm probably dead here. Yeah, no, I need to deal with the Tarsus Technomat, or otherwise I'm dead. Otherwise, it's just a miss battle, really. And I think we're going to lose the miss battle, most cases. Here it comes. Oh, no, wait, no, never mind. Okay. Somehow I survived that. Okay, we're gonna heal.
I won't forget this.
Oh, there we go. We're gonna go with a pot shot here. Or do we? Yeah, no, I guess the pot shot's kind of ideal here. There we go. We will activate concentrated fire. Do we use this? Next attack will cost 0 AP. It will not count towards the attack limit this turn, and will grant a stack of versatility even if the attack type is the same as the last attack. You know what? Let's do it. This will make our next attack free, basically, so why not? This will give us a nice juicy boost to our versatility stacks, and we are going to save here. It's basically just a game of seeing who gets more bonuses here. Of course, their exposed weakness does seem to have a cap, though. Yeah, no, their exposed weakness actually has a cap, so that's good. That means we have the benefit of just outlasting these guys, I think. I hope. So as long as we outclass them in versatility stacks, I don't think we'll need to worry too much. That's the only issue here. Yep. Let's see. Yep, dodge. We are still at 103, so we're only suffering a 37.
Just need to tough it out.
Yeah, no, the Tarzus is suffering constant hits to no avail. We are going to need to heal, obviously. We will heal here.
Sure to return the favor one day.
There we go. We will be provoking if we reload, but considering our parry's at 95, we should be fine. Let's reload. There we go. Okay, we are going to use Concentrated Fire and Rapid Fire here, just to prepare for next turn. We will lose out on the chance to increase our versatility, but that's fine. We're going to save here, because I do want to at least make this work. But I do believe I've reached the golden point where versatility is just going to outclass. I hope.
Just barely.
But yeah, no, we just have to avoid the dangers that we're going to be suffering from, but other than that, we should be fine. The dodge is just going to outclass them, and their analyze is not going to cut it. They're absolutely trying their best to get us killed here. Oh, there they go.
But I'm not out.
Alright, that's a load. It's a good thing I prepped with that in mind. Seems like they're going to try and start stacking versatility, though. Or they're going to try and start stacking their stacks, though, to try and win us out. All it takes is a bunch of exploits, after all. Thankfully, dodge comes in clutch there. Alright, you're doing another analyze. You're exposing the weakness. Joint analysis. Thankfully, we get a miss there. So it's just a roll of the dice, really, at this point. Alright. Tarzus is getting demolished. Alright, another miss. Cool. Alright, here we go. We're gonna do a blast, I believe? No, we need versatility, don't we? No, we used a medkit, so we should have the versatility in our favor now. Yep, there we go. Alright, now we use run and gun. No, wait, we use reload here.
I'll see to it.
This will provoke, that's fine. We then use wildfire to give us another stack. That will make our next attack free. Then we do rapid fire on top of that to give us 12 bullets to work with. Then we go ham with another barrage, giving us 12 stacks. And we are up to 98 fired up stacks, which is really good. Okay, that should be our 12th stack now, so that's good. We're going to save here. How is our defense loss, actually? That is a good question. We're only suffering a minus 28, and we've got a versatility of 60, so they're gonna have a rough time trying to defeat us now. Yeah, the Technomats are basically just becoming obsolete at this point. Yep. They're getting really impatient with their, dismissal. Oh, impressive. He managed to hit. Good job. Okay. Well, that's fine. I guess we'll have to heal here then. Well, at the very least, we're going to get infinite wildfire stacks now. So that's good. We'll have to provoke here, but that's fine. Alright, Wildfire is now free, so we can just activate this. So that way we don't spend any points now on our abilities. We're going to do Concentrated Fire here. Rapid Fire. We will even go as far as using Surefire Shot, I think, to increase our damage potential. Because why not? We might as well, right? And bada boom. There we go. The servitors are taking a lot of damage now, so that's going to be interesting to see how things pan out. We will save here, because this is a satisfactory result. And we just got to roll the dice to make sure we don't die. And we've got a good dodge coming in, so that's good. Just got to parry and avoid, really, at the end of the day. Yeah, expose weakness. Join analysis. Forced to reload, of all things. God. Alright, that's a miss. Tarzus is gonna take himself out at this rate by himself. I don't even need to do anything. Servitors are getting demolished, naturally. Let's see. Yeah, no, they're just slowly whittling down their own resistances, so...
I'll make it happen.
Alright, we're gonna reload here. We'll use Wildfire to reduce the amount of, Yeah, we just do Wildfire here.
On it.
Activate the two Rapid Fire... Well, the Rapid Fire and Concentrated Fire here. This will give us a boost to any attacks that we do. We just go demolishing routes. Bada boom. Alright, the Servitor's gonna be before Tarzus, so we have to be aware of that. We will Revel and Slaughter here. This will give us a boost to our hits. Then we reload.
Not me.
So we're not going to be moving anytime soon, that is a given. But all the same, we should be fine. We probably are going to need a heal, though, at some point, but all in due time. All in due time. I'm satisfied with the outcome thus far, so we'll make it work. Let's see how these Technomads try and cope with the danger that is Vorg. Yep, the dodge is coming in clutch. The car and the sharpshooter are going to have a rough time. Tarzus is going to march in. Fails to hit us. But he's only just doomed himself to pain by doing this. Of course, the Servitor will get a chance to actually hit us, but we'll manage. We'll manage. Okay. Wildfire. Concentrated Fire. Or Rapid Fire. Alright, a barrage just directly south here. Bada boom.
Twice before crossing me.
Alright, let's reload.
As good as done.
That is a fail on your part. We are going to use run and gun here. And then we're just going to go for yet another barrage.
Another enemy down.
Haha. And with that, that is our turn. We
I refuse.
can't do another reload, sadly, but that's fine. We still do have 17 stacks of versatility, and it's only going to get stronger, outclassing their attempts to demolish our AC. But yeah, it's just a matter of time. We are basically becoming a boss at this point. Now the question is, how will we fare against Tarzus here? Because he's going to be an interesting foe to fight. Yeah, Nis. Alright, we got the parry coming in clutch. Oh, he's going for the Mad Slash, but fails. Good. What has he got? He's got Aggressive Protocol. Grants 5 damage. Stacks. Okay, so he gets extra damage as he goes through the Aggressive Protocol. He suffers 10 direct damage, but gains a stacking plus 5 damage bonus. Also, at the end of his turn, this creature makes 1 attack against everyone within its melee range. Huh. Alright, well, regardless, we will reload
I'll
here.
make it
This is going to
happen.
provoke. Okay, just hit me casually, I guess. We'll go for the med kit
I'll
here.
make sure to return the favor one
There we
day.
go.
It's as good as done.
Rapid fire. Oh, right,
I'll
wildfire
see
is
to it
also going to be needed.
personally.
Just to get the attack
if
off
not
that we
me?
need. Alright, we are going to activate Surefire
On
Plan
it.
to increase the damage by a staggering 15%. Not by
It's as
much,
good
but
as
it's
done.
fine.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Alright, we're going to save here. Hope that's enough. Slowly starting to gain stacks, which is good. But hey, that's why we're using as many medkits as we possibly can. The more medkits we use, the more we're just going to get stronger, etc., etc. Just a matter of time of overcoming enemy attack after enemy attack. Parry and dodge coming in clutch. Nice. Oh, he's trying to attack again. Fails completely. This'll provoke,
I'll see to it personally.
but that's fine because our parry's just absurd like that. We will activate Wildfire
Make it
yet
happen.
again.
Who if
Concentrated
not
fire
me?
and rapid fire come in clutch.
I'll make it happen.
We will activate Surefire
I'll see
Plan
to
once
it
again to get the
personally.
more damage that we need. Alright, we'll go
I'll
for the
make it
barrage
happen.
here.
You should have thought twice before crossing
Down to
me.
25.
On it.
Alright, we'll reload here. Again. And I guess we can go for the 30 to hit. Why not, right? There we go. Brought up to 21 stacks. Impressive. We will save here. And yeah, we're making it. We're making strides. It's just time consuming because that's just the fights for this game. Or at least in this instance, anyways. Just got to avoid as we can. Yep, double dodge. He's going to take 10 damage and then try to get another attack, but fail miserably. Yeah, no, he's in a state where he's just going to perish now, so... Let's activate Wildfire to get this start off.
It's as
Concentrated
good as
fire.
done.
Rapid fire. And here comes the
I'll
barrage.
see to it personally. Your end was inevitable.
Alright, here we go. Now we can swap over to our proper weapon here.
I'll make it
Let's
happen.
reload. Let's
On
run
it.
and gun here to try and get to a more reasonable method of cover, rather. We're gonna move over to here. Let's see, we got 13 damage here. 2 to 4. We're gonna go for the more guaranteed 85 to hit. Less damage, but all the same, we should be dealing significant damage. Man's got a ton of tactical knowledge, but it's not gonna save him from the power that is Vorg, I do believe. Especially with his 174 dodge now coming in clutch. Yeah, they're going to try their absolute best to try and ruin our day. But fail miserably. Yeah, miss. Yep, missed. Yep. Now let's see, we can get a barrage off on you guys, just passively here. Alright. Concentrated
make it
fire,
happen.
rapid fire,
I'll see to it personally.
wildfire,
It's as
surefire
good as
plan
done.
for extra damage.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Alright, and once again, just combo him with 7. Yeah, that'll do. And honestly, I think I'm safe to just keep attacking this way. I should be fine. Oh, another dodge. Nice. Okay. Yep, dodge coming in clutch. Missing with the piercing shot. Okay. Gonna
I'm
move
ready
up
for
here.
whatever comes. I'll make it happen.
I can still attack from this range, so that's good. We're just gonna
On it.
bump up here.
I'll see
Like
to
so.
it personally.
Alright, wildfire, here we go.
I'll
Bada
make it
boom.
happen. Another enemy down.
Nice, there we go. Coming in
You should
clutch.
have thought twice before crossing me.
Alright, we can activate Revel and Slaughter here.
Oh,
This will
not
give us a
me.
boost in our stats. I'll save just to be safe, because I don't want to go through all that shenanigans again, but I digress. These fights should be quite easy, all things considering. Yeah, you're forced to run up, as we can see. You're forced to reload, and then you just hide and cover. Okay. Miss. Okay, we're just gonna move up to here. Put you in a position where you can't exactly run away from what I'm about to do. Just do this. Let's reload,
It's as good
just
as
to give
done.
ourselves the extra benefit.
I'll make
Wildfire reduces our amount needed, and just blow
I'll see
the
to
ever-living
it
hell out of them. Or blow them up, rather.
it. Best defense is
God,
a good
that's a lot of
offense.
misses. Jesus. Oh well. Still, we're doing a lot of damage. That's the most important part here. Yeah, they're forced to just deal with it. They tried their absolute best to no avail. We do get steady superiority, though, so that's going to be interesting. Okay, we're going to move over to here.
Calculated risk is my second nature.
Alright, we're going to do steady superiority over here. Alright, we're going to do wildfire here. We will
I'll
reload.
make it happen.
Let's activate concentrated fire and rapid fire here. Bada boom. Okay, we've got a 6 to 10 versus a 0 to 1. I guess we're gonna do 0 to 1 here.
Not me.
Yeah, crit's coming in clutch. Here we go. Then we
It's
do a
as
run
good
and
as
gun
done.
here. And honestly, we do a single shot. We'll do a single shot
make
just
it
because, but we are definitely going to need to use cautious approach to deactivate it and then just completely demolish. But we don't really need to do that, honestly. We'll just play it safe. Why not? He's going to be missing us anyways, so it's fine. Gonna move up here. Alright, just barrage him like this.
Your end was
Done.
inevitable.
Easy peasy. Requesting cessation of hostilities. Help your brother. The unit that called itself Tarsus Hanuman is dead, has been disabled. This material asset is beyond restoration or reuse as spare parts. After a pause, Pascal bows his head, and a binaric requiem pours out of his vox. Despite his misconceptions, he was a servant of the Omnissiah. Pascal, what have you done to Tarsus? Pascal, confused reply comes from a Vosk in his rasp. Unable to fulfill request, the Omnissiah granted me an epiphany, and I muted the maimed machine spirit that was filling Tarsus' mind with fury. I do not fully understand the manner of my appeal to it. The situation is perfectly mirrors the incident on Rykard Minoris, where I appealed to the machine spirits of a malfunctioning mechanism and laid it to rest. I am sorry that you had to kill a comrade. I also have a negative assessment of this event. The Adeptus Mechanicus still accused the unit of identifying itself as Pascal Hanneman of criminal theft of a unique identification code. Unlike Tech Brother Tarzus, I am not authorized to immediately arrest/execute the unit, but neither am I authorized to drop the inquiry. There are no apostates among us. The piercing voice from the Voxenth is more overwhelming than Tarzus' thunderous roar. Tech Brother Tarzus and the machine spirit that lived in his battle harness succumbed to the suffering that beset them. Their judgment was rash and erroneous, or however you spell it. Now, their torment is over. I declare them martyrs, and am requesting Tarzus Hanneman's neural augmenting, for the purposes of preserving his blessed memory. As astonished tech priests look on, Pascal leans over the slain man's body and extracts an augment from his skull. His movements are precise as they are respectful. Pascal. The tech priest makes an imperious gesture, stopping you from continuing. With each word, Pascal's voice grows more powerful and majestic. You saw the agony of your tech brother Tarzus was in. His unbridled pain spurred faith, intimidated you, yet you were silent. Reverence stopped you from raising your voice to proclaim that the machine spirit with which his mind had merged was mortally affected. The imperative of reverence has paralyzed your will, and you watched a tragedy unfold in silence. The sixth universal law states that comprehension is the true path to knowledge. Yet, the procedural cycle has robbed you of your comprehension. Therefore, let the cycle be discontinued. There is a clang as Opticon's knee presses onto the floor. Crimson-hooded heads are bowed. Let the cycle be discontinued. The radiant light pouring out of Pascal's visor grows dimmer. Static creeps back into his voice. Let the cycle be discontinued, tech comrades. Pascal, there is one small point I'm not clear on. What just happened? Pascal's Voxenth crackles somewhat tentatively. I've decided to sustain my words with an excerpt from one of the Blessed Armanat's sermons on loss of infernal and external function. Verse 4. My analysis deemed it appropriate. What was the reason for that act of genification? It has been long since the words of Messiah of discontinuing were last spoken, openly, over public communication bands. We respectfully welcome wisdom's return. So he has not forgotten after all. The Messiah of discontinuing. Is that how you refer to the Armanats? Following Archmagos Armanat's partial laciation removal of the chain of command, that was the authorship attribution on a series of sermons on discontinuing the cycle that were disseminated across the Cognizance fleet. It was, in fact, a title used by many in times past. Is Armanat's teachings not heretical? This statement is false. Contrary to what many servants of the Omnissiah thought they knew, preferred to believe, the fleet's Supreme Conclave never formulated/issued an official statement on that decision. 37% of Supreme Conclave's members openly supported Archmagos Armanat's views and were removed from the chain of command. Under circumstances that were classified, the Supreme Conclave have not had a quorum ever since. Do you know where the Omna is now? Data unavailable. No reports have mentioned Archmagos Armanat since the incident on Archmechanicus Hermetico, which led to the presumed disappearance of that void ship. My archive has no data on Hermetico incident. The vessel was blessed Armanat's base of operations. Is it lost then? Pascal's voice is filled with anxiety. Were you among his followers? Negative. I had no contact with Archmagos Armanat and was never a member of his flock, disciplines, retinue. However, my analysis of the doctrine he outlined inspired me deep, /respect for, /trust in, /him. I presume the conflict between you and Pascal has been resolved then. The data received provides a basis for calling the fallen Tarsus hypothesis in question. /out of respect for, /due to lack of authorization, to indict, /followers of the Messiah of discontinuing, we will not proceed with the decontainment /arrest /termination. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Thank you, Tech Brother Opticon 22. Now that the conflict has been resolved, you may remain aboard my ship. Request denied. The Kappa Thread supply line delegation is leaving Dargonus. Expresses gratitude for the hospitality /ceasefire, and proclaims its intent to return to Footfall to resume performing its regular functions. The Tech Priest looks over at Pascal as if waiting for something. Pascal's Megadendrite briefly touches the shoulder of Opcon 22, who bows respectfully. Well, that was weird. But okay. I guess it worked out in the end. But Pascal had to go through a bit of a harm spit, but whatever. This is an easy fix, all things considering. In doing so, we've managed to get ourselves an Omnissiah axe, which isn't really that great. We've managed to get a bundle of stub carbines, which isn't it's okay. It's not really great.
Keep your eye on the prize.
We got a power sword, which is pretty good, I must admit. Well, it's okay, I should say. It's classified as a power as opposed to chain, which power weapons do have the benefit of certain aspects. Especially so when we grow in level as we grow in level to our, abilities. But we'll have to see.
Keep your wits about you.
Is there anything around here? I don't think there is. Usually there's like an item box around here, give or take, if we're lucky. But I highly doubt it. We're gonna get one. Not here, anyways.
Is there money to be made?
All the same, we should be fine. Let's get out of here to the Void Ship Bridge. Off we go. And, well, we just wait until we're cleared for go. There we go. Now we can hopefully land on the planets as intended, because that was our goal, really. Okay. Man. Right. Now we can go finally onto Dargonus. We're gonna save here. Save on Dargonus. And here we go. Like so. Let's begin our scan. We'll get 50 experience for this. Alright, and we've got 2 places to go. We've got the Von Valencius Palace, which is probably the most important part. And of course the Administratum. We are going to focus on the Von Valencius Palace first, because I do want to go through that first. And then we will go to the Administratum. But ultimately, I just want to do this first, above all else. So, here we go. Off we go. Alone. Here we are. Oh, there's blood on the wall. Lovely. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your lordship. The stately woman in a long, full-dress uniform makes a graceful curtsy. Her short, graying hair does not obscure her stern features. I am Clementia Worstian, Court Counselor of the Von Valancius dynasty. On behalf of all of Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the untimely passing of Theodora von Valancius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as our one star expires, another flares to life. And although still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become a trade dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burnt face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal finger creaks quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Scalander, Secretary of the Administrative Department. I hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles. We had some incidents, but those are irrelevant at the moment. Quite right, your lordship. What happened cannot be changed, but still you have great deeds ahead of you. So let us look into the future with hope in our hearts. Does your lordship wish to survey the grounds, or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have? Governor Urband Drivestem has been notified of your arrival on Dargonus, and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well at hand, but your lordship still has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on a moment. Clementia, what did you say your last name was? Clementia nods politely. You heard correctly, your lordship. I am of House Wuriston, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. Why isn't the governor here to greet you with me? Apologies, your lordship. Governor Drivestem's residence is on the other side of the world. By the administrative palace of Dargonus, we sent word as soon as you entered the system. It takes time to travel a great distance of your domain. Councillor Wuriston appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with the new road trader. I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chamber are. Achilles' face brightens with a pearly white smile, restoring some of his former good looks. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but, on account of your arrival, we arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready for whenever you may need it. You are dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps, before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain would spare a few minutes of conversation with me. I am certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs in the Valancius Protectorate most useful. Okay. Alright, well, with that, everything here is basically open up for us. We're gonna save here, because we are gonna need to take our time to look around, because there's gonna be, obviously, a lot to look forward to. But, yeah. We'll just look around, take our time, making sure we find things.
What do we have here?
Oh, hello. Got some goods here. Grab these. Toss a coin for luck. Why not? Never hurts to be lucky. You know what? Just quickly to spam this, why not? Absolutely nothing to benefit from that, but whatever. It appears we can unlock this with a tech use. I think I can make that.
For me.
Yeah, with a solid 90 we should be good. Okay. Let's save. I don't think they actually talk to us here, our companions, but it never hurts to check. Yeah, no. Most of them don't actually talk in this area, so it's better to just loot where you can and go from there. We'll slowly increase our rep over time, though. All in due time. Whether it be through resources or other means, i.e. buildings. Okay, we're gonna head out here. Let's see how we're doing here. So far, so good. I don't see anything that really, you know, bounces out at us right now. But you know what? Never hurts to just maneuver the entire area and see what we find. Oh, there's another item here. Did we fail a check? I guess we must have. No, okay. Rip us, I guess. I thought there was loot there, but I guess not. Never mind. Okay, a lore Imperium check is always nice. We can always make sure we get these checks in. And we'll make sure to use the log here to help. Alright, a success on our part. Nice. Anything up here? Nope, just people working away respectfully. We can easily return to the ship this way if we so desire. Not really necessary right now, I do believe, but all the same. We will scour the area for as much experience as possible. Alright. Alright, I think that's the majority of everything, basically, in the way. Well, basically everything done, I should say. Alright, we're gonna march our way back into the area. We do have a few things here and there to do, but I digress. Let's see. Right now, the biggest things appear to be going to Kiavagama, talking to the Master Seals, and save the Avalardi survivors, but that's going to be the last thing on our agenda. Naturally, because we've got a lot to explore here. Right now, the most important part is to make sure we secure our planets and just secure them from the dangers that could be, essentially. But we will see. We will see. Hello. The main throne room is up the stairs and straight ahead. Your subjects... Okay. He humbly waits the opportunity to meet you there. Okay. Okay. Personal chambers are up on the right. Okay. Cool. We'll probably save the rest until we're done, but we've got something important to do anyways, so we should be good. If you need anything, whatever your soul desires, be right next to your chambers, eagerly awaiting orders. Okay, cool. Thank you. Alright, let's save. And let's see what we find here. Grab everything of import. Because we can always use the value, obviously. Okay, we can either go to the main throne room already, or we can go into our chambers. I'm going to look through the chambers first before I go anywhere. Because there is something I do want to do. Before I go any further.
What's a peculiar thing?
Ooh, hello. We got ourselves some boots. Whenever we move through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer gains 15 dodge against that enemy's attacks until my next turn. Considering we have an agility already, we don't need that work, thing. So we should be fine. But we are going to be giving plenty of chances to obtain new loot, so might as well grab everything while we can and make sure we're not going to be missing out on anything too crazy.
This could be an opportunity.
Alright, awareness check succeeded. We managed to get even more loot on top of that. Nice. Got some goods here. Alright, we are given a sturdy safe here. Several bizarre mechanisms. I think we can disable this. We'll save just to make sure. Yeah, 75 is pretty easy. Boom. We are given a multi-melta. Multi-meltas are pretty nice if you're looking for a blasting attack. I guess that's technically one of the heavy weapons that we can utilize here, but I digress. Nothing too crazy that we gotta worry about as far as I'm concerned. Is there anything else here? Faint mark on the polished mantelpiece, which is likely left by glass. Yeah. Okay. Alright, we're gonna save here, because this is gonna be very interesting, to say the least. We'll save. There we go. And let's check this place out. Okay, the bed for the rogue trader. Okay. And by pulling this, we actually get to a small secret room that is owned by our previous, entrepreneur, which is probably where our data drives are going to come in play in a minute. But I digress. Dusty tomes, yep. Mystery. We've got some interesting tech stuff here. We'll start with the loot. Does appear that we've got a ton of Xeno artifacts, so she was delving into Xeno artifacts, apparently. I'm not sure if that entails, like, Chaos gear as well, but who knows. Rest in a status field. Mysterious item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. So she was very in tune with Xenos tech as well, which is interesting. We are also given a Zealot Cloak, and we're also given a Plasma Shaper Glove. This will give us a +10 to tech use. As well, this cloak, whenever the wearer hits an ally with an area attack, the wearer gains a stack of Zealot. This is only good if you have an ally, so definitely consider it if you're using that. But otherwise, don't. Because usually area attacks are pretty devastating in certain circumstances. But regardless, we should be fine here. In fact, I think I'm quite fine here. Each enemy killed. Is that really good, though? If it were every attack, it'd be even better, I think. Oh well, no big deal. We got plenty of items that can replace it, worst case. And probably it's going to be replaced by the Mantle of Heroism, because the dodge is always going to be nice for us. Dodging attacks is literally just a boon for us. Regardless. Now, I do believe there is a specific array that you need to accomplish this. And if you've been doing some, if you know what you're doing, you should be able to unlock this. So I'm going to save here because this does matter. Alright. We have to choose three specific things. First, we're going to have a glass of wine. We want to go with the Flame of Purity, I do believe. Yep, the wine fills. Nice. We will then choose a book. Because we have failed the awareness check, we actually need a load, sadly. Because we need to use the awareness-based one. Specifically. So we have to choose a particular book here. We need to choose a particular drink, and then we need to choose a particular music to combine with it all. Naturally. So everything in due course. Have a glass of wine, flame of purity, once again. Choose a book. Awareness test failed. It's a relatively hard check, but it's not, like, impossible. So we really need to just get lucky, really. It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, it looked like it was, like, a, in our favor for rolls, I think. Or it's a 30% chance? I'm not sure. Or maybe not 30, but somewhere around that line anyways. Yep, Flame of Purity, book. God, we keep... Hold on. What is the difficulty here? Alright, so the difficulty is 8. Alright, so skill value is 80. We've got a difficulty modifier of -40, so... The chance is... So we gotta get great... Okay, so it's greater than 60%. So we need to get a 40% chance here. Hold on. Man, this is tedious, but it needs to be done because otherwise we won't get the unlock, I do believe. And it is important that we do this. Well, not completely important, but it does unlock secret content, so I do want to go through that, just for you guys. There we go. The cover of the book titled Litanies of Motive Force looks rather hefty, as though its spine contains a miniature device of some sort. Alright, we're going to be choosing the Litanies of Motive Force here. And then we change the music. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It is the first of 36 parts of the Symphony of Honor and Duty. We are going to choose the Symphony of Honor and Duty, Part 2. And the music in the speakers momentarily grows louder, filling the entire room, then go back to normal, seemingly without any change. The room responds to your actions with a quiet grinding sound, and a small nook reveals itself in a nearby wall. Inside, you find a databank, bearing the Von Valencius coat of arms. And we've got the databank on Dargonus. This is one of the 2 databanks that you can get in the Valencius dynasty. So it is definitely worth considering your attention. What is that? Okay. Well, regardless. That is definitely something that you want to grab. I don't think it actually has any bearing on what you get, but it's interesting to say the least. Regardless, we are gonna march our way up here. Let's see. Let's save. I'm satisfied with the results thus far, so there you go. But yeah, no, it's a little bit of a hard difficulty, but if you're able to accomplish it, you get good result. Well, you get a lot of good results as a result, but I digress. Alright, we got some goods here. Tech use 90 here. Yoink. Don't really need to talk with anybody here aside from one particular person, but other than that, we should be fine. It's just a matter of looking around, seeing if we get extra loot, but other than that, it's just a matter of, dealing with aristocrats and all that jazz, naturally. There we go, yoink this. There we go. Alright, we're gonna save here. And off we go. The slender figure, clad in robes made from expensive fabric, shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes several deep breaths. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. Achilles covers his burned lips, trying and failing to suppress a coughing fit. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you, as well as her wishes for your swift return. Heinrich frowns. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. Achilles thumps himself on the chest with his augmented hand. You hear the clanging of metal against metal. I'm not foolish. I'm not so foolish as to fail to notice a conversation in code. Your insight deserves credit, rogue trader. Then again, I expect nothing less from Theodora Valencius' successor. Heinrich looks at Achilles. Allow me to introduce Achilles Scalander properly. In addition to his duties as a secretary of the Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master Scalander was transferred into my remit by a colleague who was engaged in other matters in the Coronis Expanse. I'm sure you'll find Achilles' services useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your protectorate. Greetings, Lord von Valencius. Allow me to once again express my deepest condolences for the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track down and destroy all of Conrad Vukvir's accomplices on the capital world. Do you know anything about what has become of Conrad Vukvir? The former Master of Whispers is a heretic and a traitor to the dynasty. Achilles nods grimly. Word of his treason reached Dargonus too late. Conrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt. It seems unlikely that the wardens got to everyone who was allowed to doubt in their hearts, and now nurtures it in secret. You promised me a report on the present state of affairs on the Protectorate. I have already forwarded all official reports to your Seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dargonus' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived in the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Dargonus, much like nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. The nobles of Dargonus are well respected, rich and powerful individuals who held Lady Theodora's favor for many years and found ways to rise above the rest by diligently serving the rogue trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with the transition of power they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are the Drivestems, the Gapraks, and the Sarbaks. I should also mention the Worstons, not a noble house per se, but a family that was part of Lady Theodora's inner circle, to the Blue Blood's great displeasure. I wouldn't be surprised, considering, they've been very loyal to the group, for good or ill. Tell me about the Drivestems. The Drivestems are an ancient governor house of Dargonus. Predictably, the greater the wealth of the Valencia's protectorate, the fuller their coffers grow. Their reputation is flawless except for one detail. We have evidence that urban Drivestems rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xenos raids. I find that these attacks are always too advantageous for the Drivestems, but we lack solid proof. It might never surface. The closer to an official is to the rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. We'd just like to remind everyone that rubbing soldiers with Xenos is a heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of the Von Valencius here, not his servant. What makes the Gaspraks special? The Gaspraks hail from a remote forge world, and among their distant relatives there are many servants of the Omnissiah, and the house itself is close to the cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus. both in spirit and in their business connections. The Gatspraks oversaw the industrial shipments within your protectorate, until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Yaba Gamma was severed, they've become quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care. What can you tell me about House Sarabak? Religious and hard-working, the Sarabaks own many enterprises, including distillation manufacturers, that produce promethium. I must note that lately, members of the Sarabak family have been prone to overly liberal statements about the Von Valencius dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora is a bit too keen to leave her worlds without proper oversight. And what of the Wurzens? The Wurzens are a line founded by Lady Theodora's seneschal, and as such are normally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy, from which Lord Abelard hails. On Dargonus, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they were never granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the old houses of Dargonus. And secondly, the other families do not see them as equals, but more an upstarts, clinging to the road trader's favor. The Wurstons are responsible for the capital Ward's fleet and the majority of the cargo shipments on domestic route. Enough about nobles. Was there anything else you wanted to report? There was, your lordship. And this time it concerns the main reason for my presence on this planet. Xenos and the threat they pose both to you and to humanity as a whole. The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me. My eyes and ears scattered throughout the Coronis expanse. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ships disappearing in the immaterium. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark, or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communications with some key individuals who were able to warn me about the incoming threats, including Xenos raids. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike next. I do not doubt that Governor Drivestem will beg for your protection against the Xenos, and in this fight, the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trainer and his mighty void ship to avert disaster. Alright, what are your responsibilities here on Dargonus? Officially, I'm a secretary of the World's Administrative Department. Less officially, I'm afraid I can't disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy, taking root on upstanding planets of humanity. Above all else, I'm concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire Dargonus expanse, including your protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbances. I'm still trying to re-establish contact with many of my agents. Tell me about the Xenos. The residents of the local systems are no stranger to skirmishes with the enemies of humanity, but recently, the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We're receiving reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargonus. Both they and the colonies that they departed from are being attacked. We have identified the breed of Xenos that pose a threat is the Drakari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. Be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack the road trader's ship, should they find circumstances to be in their favor. Unfortunately, in the host of humanity, there are those who are willing to grovel before our enemies in the hope of a valuable reward. You may be interested to know that we are on the trail of such heretics. Overwhelming evidence indicates that a marauded void station in Longren's Belt is being used as a base by a band of pirates, who are not above dealing with Xenos. I was unable to persuade the Council of the need to dispatch a ship there, but perhaps you would like to pay a courtesy call to these scoundrels yourself. Do you know anything about the Cult of the Final Dawn? My knowledge is deplorably limited, your lordship. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos activity. I'm certain that Master Van Kalox can teach you much more about those heretics than I. And your unofficial work. Whom do you truly serve? The rope trader or the interrogator of the Inquisition? And whom does the rogue trader serve? The Golden Throne, the Protectorate? Could it be that one stems from another? And if so, is there any sense to discussing it? Understandable. I doubt they're gonna pry any information, so it's respectable that we just leave him alone on that. We'll just go through this. It's pretty that. We've pretty much gotten everything that we want, so there we go. Alright. We've gotten everything that we need. Let's see. Let's go by... Yep, type in descending order, as we usually do. Now, do we want to swap back to the hot shot lasgun? Because that is more damage, to be fair. The only difference is the rate of fire is meh right now. I know we can get an absurdly high rate of fire with the certain weapons, but it's just a matter of finding the right weapon for the job, really. Because we could theoretically go like a bolter here, if we really wanted to. But again, it really depends on us. Regardless, we are going to need a higher strength no matter what in order to make this happen, so... we need to get our strength up to 45 before we can start using that sort of stuff. Not including, of course, power armor, which is another thing that we can involve ourselves in. But regardless, let us save and let's resolve some edicts here a little bit. Your lordship. Clementia bows her head politely. For a counselor to the rogue trader, she is dressed rather simply. A parade doublet, polished boots, and a comfortable cloak. She bears a saber in a gilded scabbard. Whether for show or protection, one could not say. Only her ring with the worsted coat of arms indicates that she is of the highest social stratum. The governor is waiting on the propriety of the palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him. The sharp gaze, the impeccably straight back, and the composure. For a moment, you feel like you're looking at a younger version of Abelard himself, not his heir. Judging by the scars on the exposed parts of her body, Clementia saw her fair share of combat prior to assuming the position of counselor. What are your responsibilities as counselor? To put it simply, I am your trade representative. Any and all decrees, deals, official communication, and meetings are first reviewed by me and then forwarded to you, and for you down to the hierarchy. My purview also includes overseeing your lordship's property, the palace, the estate, the many gardens, and the other demesnes on Dargonus that you have inherited from Lady Theodora, and whoever you are present on Dargonus. Consider me your personal secretary. What can you tell me about Dargonus? All deals and important decisions are made here in the capital. Many years ago, an ancestor of Lady Theodora signed an agreement with Adeptus Administratum, which allowed for efficient management of the world and the neighboring systems. In accordance with this decree, a share of the planet's population was assigned to the Administratum and converted into servitor scribes. They now toil across the entire world. Dargonus is also a seat of several noble families, who run all the major planets in the Protectorate. If I may express my not-so-humble opinion, they care very little about who exactly stands at the helm. Those piranhas think only about their profits, just as much as they do about the prosperity of the Protectorate itself, if not more. And lastly, Dargonus has its own fleet, a luxury unavailable to the vast majority and the other worlds in your realm. In addition to warships, the Protectorate also employs privateer ships, which are used to transport cargo between worlds. Does the capital stay in contact with the other worlds of the Protectorate? Unfortunately, not at this time, Lordship. After the few representatives of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica on Dargonus went into a frenzy, some of the Psychers were tragically pacified by the respective authorities. God, 1 second, I need a drink, jeez. Since then, communication with the neighboring systems have been unreliable at best. Thanks to the master of mankind that you managed to find your way to the capital. If the noble houses are so volatile, what sense is there in keeping them? Over the many centuries, an intricate hierarchy has been formed with the ruling elites of Dargonus. The great houses do more than plunder your treasury. It is replenished, to a large degree. Thanks to the administrative work and their lands, naturally, you can get rid of anyone whom you consider surplus to requirements. But right now, it could threaten the fragile stability that is currently holding the Protectorate together. Are there any other issues that I should be aware of? Apart from the disrupted communications, Dargonus was recently raided by enemies of humanity. However, the fleet under the command of Captain Marthus Wershen triumphed over the accursed Xenos. If you ask for my opinion on this matter, we have the situation completely under control. You catch her avoiding the gaze for just a moment. For the first time, it's obvious that Comencia is looking out for her house's good name. But despite the confidence in her tone, you can tell that she does not entirely believe her own words. Tell me about Governor Drivestem. Urban Drivestem is a well-respected man, and not just on Dargonus, but throughout the Protectorate. For many centuries, his house has supported the capital's administration for the logistics behind Von Valencia's systems. The Drivestem's efforts secured years of order and prosperity for Dargonus. What's more, Lady Theodora personally insisted that Lord Urban specifically be made the next governor. The way you speak of Drivestem, I hear a hint of either contempt or resentment. No, I don't believe I feel either, your lordship. Comencia's steely eyes stare into the distance, her jaw visibly clenching. She speaks in a polite but clipped manner, clearly flustered by your insight. We have different views on how to run a world. We sometimes have discussions over the laws that are enacted, but we both work for the good of the Von Valencia's Protectorate. That much can be said without a doubt. Thank you for your report, Counselor. I serve the Von Valencia's Protectorate, your lordship. Achilles Scandler, does he cause any problems? Why, none at all, your lordship. Secretary Scandler is an outstanding individual and a loyal servant of Von Valencia's dynasty. In Lady Theodora's absence, we collaborated on a number of issues related to the well-being of your domain. And he has proven himself quite capable. I don't know why, but even the governor trembles before Achilles, which is unusual for a man of, shall we say, his standing. Tell them I'm ready to see the governor. Comencia bows before leaving. I shall arrange for him to be escorted to your study. Good. Vorg von Valencius, 20th in his line. Rogue trader, keeper of the Sacred Warrant, and ruler of the Coronis Expanse, from the Kranich system to the 100 Dreams Crossroads. I bid you welcome. Welcome. Urban Drivestem, governor of this great world. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It'll be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valencius. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. The citizens of Dargonus and the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please, allow us to declare half a year of mourning so that we can honor the memory of our beloved lady. Theodora von Valencius deserves more than that. Declare a full year of mourning. I will immediately give all necessary instructions, your lordship. He casually presses a few buttons on the cogitator, built into his gold bracer. Esteemed Vorg, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on the wisdom and persevere in spite of this tragedy. Together. And let us carry on where she no longer can buy, leading the Von Valencia's Protectorate to even greater prosperity. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, the astropaths of Dargonus flew into a rage, and they had to be subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with the neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and their routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given the vast majority of ships in the Dargonus Navy travel without relying on the service of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the Von Valencius dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk. We met a ship from Dargonus not too long ago. The crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight. The governor presses a number of buttons on the cogitator built into his bracer and looks up at you in surprise. I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but it did so, if you can believe it, on the rogue trader's authorization. That's why no one dared to impede its departure. Lord Captain, it would seem that Kunrad somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even original. A tool like that in the hands of a traitor does not bode well. Gunrad Votvir, former Master of Whispers, is a heretic and a traitor. Has he shown his face on Dargonus? The governor pensively strokes the rings on his fingers. Lord Votvir visited capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering in the corridors come from. I shall be frank with you, your lordship. Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow for every one of us, and in the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her successor, gives grounds for all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, no one would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a road trader. However, Kunrak Votvir was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words. My subjects' doubts are understandable. Too many things have changed in too short a span. I will prove myself worthy of the position. Why, Vorg, your desire is most commendable, but please do not forget, I really should never bow to their attendance. Some might see as a show of weakness. It's not bowing to the people, but listening to their words, but I digress. What exactly do the Dargonus nobility expect from me, in light of the loss of routes and communications in other worlds? We are all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus, that supplied Dargonus and the other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive the mildest rabble to revolt. Furthermore, House Gaprak is perturbed by the loss of communication within the industrial world of Kiabagama, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention is most in the penal world of Verbeo 6, one of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate. Such intriguing concern for Verbeo 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own the extraction stations there? Drivestem's beady eyes widen in fear. Your lordship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decisions in any way. You see, Verbeo 6, Macfortum, the manufactorums on your world will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere, and arrange for a new shipment, and in these troubling times they run the risk of delaying the other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of Von Valencia's dynasty. I've already visited the agri-world Janus. Governor Viat found herself facing a number of problems in my absence. Truly, the Viat line is one of the oldest in Von Valencia's protectorate. If the inheritor of such a well-respected blood could not handle whatever has befallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Vistenza Viat is no longer in charge of the world. She is dead. I've delivered Janus into more capable hands. Drivestem's eyes open wide. The Viat line is broken. Such horrible news. Oh, it will shake many who are connected to Viats and who are used to the immunity that comes with our class. That does it for the planets and trade routes. What else? Xenos, your lordship. I don't rightly know where to begin. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Coronis expanse. They have been a menace to worlds this side of the Maw for decades, but now those abominations are on a rampage. They show no signs of fear as they attack ships, either damaging them to a point where they could become unfit for transport duty, or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. We are in the process of restoring the astropathic choir of Dargonus. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scandler will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the religion on Verbeo 6 has been particularly concerned in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Now, to issues on smaller scale. There is a certain degree of tension in the capital, due to the unorthodox section to the sacred wards. Chances of uprisings are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirits. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemly discomposure at your succession. What is to be done about them? Hmm. Well, the easiest way would be to send them gifts. But, I don't think that's going to solve the problem, really. Well, it could. I mean, they are greedy. Like, really greedy. I think we need to send a message. At the very least, we need to quiet down the rumors and make them less viable here. Well, that would be the ideal thing, but I think... Let's be merciful. Do we be merciful? No, if we do this, then it's only going to provoke them to actually encourage... Well, it's only going to spark some encouragement on this part. We'll eliminate the most prominent malcontents quietly, but do not threaten entire families. Hopefully these steps will be enough to keep the rest from causing any more trouble. Or I could leave them alone. I'll leave them alone, that's probably more ideal. A noble decision, Your Lordship. I just hope that the others do not mistake your magnanimity for weakness. And one last thing, Your Lordship. Your inauguration as a bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine that you are intending to uphold the century-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship, of being represented our Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume that, as before, this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem... I suppose I'll bestow this honor upon the Worstons. They've been helping me the most, and it will fix the problem of their nobility. Abelard turns to you and bows respectfully. Lord Captain, to accompany you at such a critical hour is the greatest honor of the Worston bloodline. Have no fear. We will not fail you. Drivestem tosses Abelard a look that lacks even the smallest shred of respect. Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that the Worstons, whose lineage traces back to a navy officer, are not of the Dargonus nobility. Such decisions may have adverse effects on your subjects' loyalty, Your Lordship. Drivestem's face breaks into a bitter smile. I shall immediately relay your commands, most gracious rogue trader. Thank you for your time. I would like to complete the inauguration as rogue trader as soon as possible. When is the ceremony? I'm afraid that until you deal with the pressing issues, the ceremony will have to be postponed. Many trad routes are still unavailable to the central worlds of Von Valencia's protectorate, are going through a crisis, and the warp disturbances, if Void observers are to be believed, will prevent important guests from reaching the capital. That will be all, I take it? Thank you for your time, Your Lordship. Since duty calls, I shall take my leave. May the Emperor be graced with you. Alright, well, with that, though, I think we're basically done. We need to forge a path to Vorbeo 6 as well. So it seems like we have a bit of an issue there. We've got to go to Footfall. We've got Kranich. And we gotta give the planetary data to Opticon 22, so... Now we just got a few other things to do on the planet. Nothing too crazy, I do believe. We've basically done the most important stuff right now, so we should be fine. So now, we should be able to leave the planet with ease. I don't think there's really anything more pressing beyond this point, so we can leave and get going. We should be fine. Alright, off we go. We've already explored the majority of the area here, so we don't need to really do much here. So off we go. Do a full send charge all the way across to the ship. Bada boom. Terrible news from Dargonus, your lordship. The subsidiary hive city, Succophon 84-249, has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production is halted and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands and overloading the transport lines leading to neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What are your directives regarding the distribution of those refugees? What is the cause of the catastrophe? It is still unclear. The noble houses are throwing the blame to one another. Agents of the venerable Achilles Saliner, stationed at Succophon 84-249, have died heroically while trying to save the population from this disaster. Their latest reports mention that some vulnerabilities in the industrial sectors of the lower hive do not go into further detail. Additionally, all of your servants are currently busy with investigating the causes of the crisis, but are not doing anything to deal with its consequences. Alright. We can get the Blood of Succophon 84-249. We will suffer some complacency, but we will get a +1 deflection and a +3 hit chance. Honestly, this would be really nice. Especially for us, because it'll give us a deflection bonus, which is damage reduction 1. We can also establish later labor settlements, and relocate the refugees there. But it will, as a result, we will decrease the enemy's critical damage by 15%, which is really nice. And we can be the Bane, alternatively, which will give the Rogue Trader and allies momentum for each human enemy killed. Out of everything, I think I like the Blood of Succophon, because that's just going to increase our deflection and hit chance. The deflection bonus is probably the most ideal benefit, because that's going to reduce the damage we take by 1. Long term, it's not going to be that amazing, I do believe, but for the short term, and if we deal with like guns that deal like very minimal damage in bursts, this is really good. The alternative is I just be weaker to crits, which is 15% damage, so if I do get crit for some reason, that's good. I don't think we're ever going to get crit though, because we are very elusive anyways. And besides, this is more the iconoclast thing. We're going to be suffering a little bit, but it's a boon all the same. Signal the hives to open the gates. We will not allow a single person to get lost in the wastelands. Your mercy truly knows no bounds, your Lord Captain. I shall pray for you during all that of their watches. The hives that have accepted refugees are now overflowing with surplus labor. The refugees are willing to work twice as hard as the usual workers, who are already exhausted by their everyday toils. Many refugees have entered the Rogue Trader service and have replenished his ship's crew. The local inhabitants of the archaeologies were less than amenable to being deprived of their jobs and gave their desperate guests a rather hostile welcome. The Skypawns were forced to fight back, rallying behind their elders. The working brigadiers, the streets are awash with violence. A sad result, but it is for the benefits of everything. Now, we can aim for Restoration. We can aim for the Estrasium of the Nobility, or Emporium. All three are viable. The Emporium gives us a -1 to route cost. It gives us profit factor, less security. Chemicals, weapons, efficiency, mechanism. It just covers the whole lot. Yeah. It doesn't specify what this does, but I assume what it means is that any time we use a routing cost, it's going to reduce it by 1, essentially. At the cost of it, it's going to be security less, but I digress. We can go with the Esclasium of the Nobility, which will give us a profit factor of 2, complacency of 2, but it will give us a +5 to all of our skills. So, Palace Escladium will be constructed on top of the ruins of Psychophon 84-249 for the aristocracy. The dead and the dying will fertilize the gardens that will ring these pleasure chambers. Not fun. But, I mean, if you want a +1 to skills, this is a good idea, because, I mean, skills are always nice. The alternative is restoration here. And we can re-establish a new hive completely, which will give us a complacency, efficiency, and security boost of 1 for all colonies, as well as a boost to people and profit factor. Overall, it doesn't matter what you go with, so I'm just going to go with the... I'm going to go with the nobility here, specifically, because this is going to give us a boost to our skills, which is always going to be nice for the long term. So we're going to go with that route. It's not the best, but it will cover us quite well. Now, of course, there is a few things that we'll have to get, of course, but there is benefits here that we can use. And we'll just hope that's what we want. Now, as for what we go here... Sorted goods. Yeah, we're not going to be grabbing that. Let's see. Caspalis auction. We're going to go with this, because at least this way we can get a nice little weapon here. The Ashen Breath. Rate of fire 1. Not really that good a weapon. But hey, it's something. It would give us rep with the Kaspala mission. We're probably going to go with Shield of the Emperor here, which will give us a boost against pirates. This is a really good ability, but we're going to go with Shield of the Emperor, ideally, because of the Pirate Bane. But that's about it. And we'll get a boost in Imperial Navy, which is really good for us. And we'll also get an escort ship. So it's a good benefit to get early on. But I digress. That is going to be our gains here. And I do believe, let's go Colony Management. Let's see how we're doing. Still gaining on the Science of Virtue. Foulstone is still growing with good tidings. Dargonus is slowly building up. But yeah, our stats will eventually reach to a point that we're going to be satisfied with. It's just going to take time, no matter what. Now, we do have one other thing that we've got to go through, and that's going to be a chore and a half to do, but it's necessary given the circumstances. So, let's go to the Administratum, because we've got a chore and a half to do with Jay, which is going to be a nuisance, to say the least. But we will see how things pan out. Alright. Let us go see what is going on.
Let us not dawdle.
Greeting. Welcome to the Palace of the Adeptus Administratum. Your Lordship, please follow me. Alright. Going to the Herald Servitor here. And we're being lured into here. Continue in this direction to reach your destination. Your visit has been logged. Alright. Gonna save here.
Always keep your
Seriously?
eye on the prize.
This place is an absolute mess, Jesus. That is a lot of paperwork, jeez. Oh my god, that's a lot of
Rise
paperwork.
to the top,
Jesus.
or get left in the dust.
An ancient-looking woman in a voluptuous robe peers at you critically through her ocular lenses when you descend into the bowels of her bureaucratic domain. Another noble bypassing the queue under the pretext of just wanted to ask? All you highborn ever want is to just ask. What about protocol? That's what I'm asking. Who's going to follow protocol? Jay glances at you and whispers, What? so I paid off a few clerks to let us skip the queue, Shireen. Your time is more important to me than any little formalities. Very well, don't just stand there, you're here now. Or do you think the Master of Seals has nothing better to do than receive an unexpected visitor? The old woman beckons over a server skull floating nearby. Begin entry. Current hour, current turn, current cycle, 41st millennium. Metal manipulators immediately begin feverishly clacking, taking dictation. I'm going to just skip the formalities. It doesn't seem like she's in the mood for it, and I don't exactly want to go through every single option. My companion wishes to obtain the Mercteum Tabala Official. The Master of Seals peers over her ocular lenses at Jay in disbelief. Then she looks at you. I take it you are a sponsor. In that case, you must submit the written application in conformity with Template 404.01, as well as a written permission for the proceeding and nostrization of the personal data of your most sacred personage. Without it, I cannot issue Mistress Haydari from the form of collecting the seal required to obtain the Martatum Tabala Official, certificate of an official trade representative. At these words, the sub-Kareen smile drops from Jay's face. The seals? What seals? We will discuss that when Vorg von Valencius prepared the primary documentation. There is no way of getting around these formalities? Fear of the wrath of the Immortal One, your lordship. What would become of your protectorate, or even the Imperium itself, if every person did what you are proposing? No. Lux Imperialis, Volume 249, Paragraph 18 divided by 18/2, Amendment of the 12th Cycle of the Imperius Melium clearly states, actions of the circumvent of the circuit law of the Imperium in pursuit of personal gain are the manifestation of human weakness, which is subject to eradication. Alright. Let's try and complete it. The perfectly sharpened quill scratches pleasantly on the parchment, but for the first few minutes. The obfuscatory phrasing, footnotes, amendments, you are forced to write out the same details over and over about you, Protectorate, Theodore von Valencius, J, and then also every living person who bears your family name. If you do not know all the required information, you must complete supplementary forms. The Master of Seals nods in approval and stows the scroll in tube labeled with your name. Next is the consent from the processing and notarization of the personal data of your most sacred patronage. Alright. Just write it up. The scroll is whipped away in another tube by the Master of Seals. Protocol executed. Application received, processed, and approved. Come on, esteemed Damar. What is that we were saying about seals? The old woman unhurriedly holds out a printed scroll to Jay. Here's your document, Mistress Haydari. Unfortunately, it does not yet have legal force. I can certify it as a sacred Merctatum Tabula Official once it has received 2 seals of approval. They are easy to obtain, and the Imperial Court, its Ministrama servitors, have been handling such tasks over 150 cycles. There is one such servitor here on Dargonus in the Rogue Trader's Palace. The second duty is duty-bound to keep the seal in the Tekelos Epsilon system. Find Administratum servitors and have them place 2 seals of approval. The goal is clear. The Master of Seals nods with satisfaction. Please do return once you have prepared the documents. Yeah, so the Administratum is hell. It's a bureaucratic nightmare. It's a miracle even people were able to figure this much out, but, you know, whatever. We should be able to get the first seal on Dargonus, but we're going to need to find our current seal of ourselves to get the second approval. But for now, we just need to get the next seal, so we're just going to go on Dargonus and get it. Because obviously we need that. For Jay to be an official rogue trader, you know, official. It's not like I'm going to ban the trade of Xenos artifacts, but... Well, I guess I might. I don't know. No, I probably won't. We're doing it for the information more than anything, and I like Xenos tech, as weird as it sounds. Well, at least in this playthrough. It's going to be very handy in the future, so you'll come to understand why I like it that much. But I digress. We're gonna march over to Von Valencia's palace here. And we will be good to go. And hopefully, by the end of it, we should be good to go. Press this. There we go. Eh? Oh, I paused. There we go. And I do believe we just need to talk with the girl here, and we should be good. Oh. Mistress Haydari, my patience is not easily exhausted. We are coming very close. I shall repeat myself again. No, I will not be issuing you any seal. Not in exchange for your honest word, nor a bribe. I can see the family resemblance with Abelard now. You cannot see farther than your own nose, my dear Clementia. It wasn't a bribe, it was a gift. Now about that seal... Let the rogue trader decide. Oh, great. A, cursed bubble here. Lovely. Your lordship, I apologize for this ugly scene, but might I ask that you rein Mistress Haydari and put a stop to her inflammatory actions towards me? As the Exalted One is my witness, Shireen, I've tried everything I could to spare you any unnecessary headache over the seals of the Maractum Tabula Officiale. I even showed this aid with a temper worse than a sandstorm, the certificate with your signature, but your Chancellor merely kept batting me away with her flail of baseless denials. I suspect that the reason for this has nothing to do with my humble personage. Valencia purses her lips and glowers at Jay. Oh no, it is not about me at all. Jay narrows her eyes. She peers into Valencia's face until the latter finally looks away. I see. Well, Counselor, will you tell us yourself, or should I help you? Mr. Worson, I require that a document be certified. Where's the court servitor, the keeper of seals? I am afraid my words may anger your lordship. Clementia lowers her head, in a shame, as if offering up to be removed from her shoulders. The seal you are looking for was lost a quarter of a century ago. Her ladyship Theodore von Valencius ordered a new one to be delivered from the Imperium, but, as you well know, we are a long way away from Holy Terra. With warp storms ravaging the Dargonus expanse, we've been able to receive a replacement to this day. I presume the one responsible was punished promptly and harshly? Rest assured, Theodore of Valencius ordered to have the malefactor dealt with accordingly. Servitude Imperiatus, your lordship. He now performs his duties to the Imperium without reservation or error. However, one of the worlds under Caligos Winterscale's rule, like Dargonus, was granted the honor of keeping the sacred sigils of the Administratum. The archives of House von Valencius mention 3 systems that are presently under the control of House Winterscale. Those would be the Forgotten Twins, Longren's Belt, and the Nameless Star. I am confident that the Administratum's palace is located on one of these planets here. We have a better chance of finding the seal in the pocket of some rich collector or fence on a remote world owned by one of your rivals, Serene. I suggest we make contact with any traders we may encounter in our travels. People in my line of work tend to have a good eye for such things. There is every possibility that someone has waited their whole life to fleece or to return the great relic to its rightful owner. You're dismissed, Calencia. I am always at your service. Alright, well, with that, there we go. We now need to find the seals in order to complete her quest, which is going to take some time, but we do have clues on where we can go. So we're just going to have to raid Winterscale's little planets and yoink what we can, put simply. That is all we can do, theoretically. Oh well, that is quite fine with me. We should be good to go with whatever benefits we get, so I digress. Alright, off we go. We're just gonna rush down. Alright, well, with that, we go into the ship here, and let's get out of here. We've basically done everything on the planet of Dargonus. We still got plenty to do, naturally. And our jobs are only going to get harder from here. Okay, let's close this off. Find the seals on Dargonus. Yeah. Forgotten... Yeah, so we need to go to the Forgotten Twins, Langreen's Belt, or the Nameless Star Systems. All three are viable here. We can find the seal on Janus as well. So we'll have to go there, but I digress. So here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go to the map, because there is one thing I do want to do. Because this is going to be very important for us, and the advancement of our protectorate. But yeah, we've finally reached the point that we have reached our core planet here. And we are going to do something that I should have done a long time ago, but I was hesitating because I wanted to focus on Mundus Valentius mainly. And here's what I'm going to do. I am going to... Alright, first we're going to need a scan, obviously. Because this is going to link us to other planets. We need to go up here to forge a path to Verveo 6, obviously. That's going to be a chore and a half, but first... we are going to chart a course here. This is going to cost us 3 points to link us over to Teklos, Epsilon. We are going to reduce the difficulty to safe. There we go. And now we have a safe route directly to Janus. We're going to do the same thing for Footfall here, because it is going to be a planet that we frequent, and it is a area that we can utilize. We are going to reduce it down to a safe difficulty, once again. And now we just need to make our way over to Mortis Achilles. This is obviously going to link us to another planet, and we should be good to there. But I digress. We need to make our way up, so that way we can go to Mortis. And we've got, clearly, a lot of stuff to overcome. I think we'll have to go to the Nameless Star in order to do one thing, but we should be fine. Okay, but I digress. We are going to probably travel over to Petilium here, and we should be good. It is an unsafe route, but that's fine. Oh, we've developed a new state of colony development. We're going to save here and investigate said developments, because that's going to matter. Okay, colony management. I bring woeful news, Lord Captain. Prelate Hectarius of the Order of the Hammer has passed away. Immediately after the launch of the orbital Vox Spire, he entered the halls of recording and, having sat on the command throne, was granted a vision. For over 3 days, Prelate Hectarius preached about Saint Contagious being reincarnated in a body made from the saint's own holy relics. This spiritual feat depleted Prelate Hectarius' strength, and he peacefully departed for the Emperor's throne shortly after the sermon's conclusion. The Order of the Elders believe that this is a sign that Saint Contagious relics, currently stored on planets throughout the expanse, must be brought together. The Order is preparing for the election of a new prelate, under whose guidance it will undertake this holy mission. The majority of the votes are divided between Prioritas Lugenia, well known for her fervor, and Immersival Solar Tychon. The minority of the Order sees Oculus Nigmus, a humble and reasonable man, as their prelate. Does the death strike you as odd? I'm afraid it does not. The esteemed Hectarius began his service as a battle missionary, and has long grown weary of the peaceful life befitting a man of his status. He yearned for a worthy spiritual feat, and when presented with a chance to serve as a voice of the saint, he gave what little strength remained. When he died, he was exhausted but content. How does the Order intend to carry out Saint Contagious's mission? The Conclave aims to procure all the relics that once belonged to Saint Contagious, all that can possibly be cured. Given that the Saint is a legendary figure, many items in the Corona's expanse have alleged connection to him. However, it seems unlikely that any of the relics' owners will be eager to part with them. The answer to the question of how the Order of the Hammer is going to retrieve them depends on the identity of the next prelate. Alright, tell me about the candidates. Prioress Lugentia was converted by Hectarius on one of the heathen worlds. She has then served as his bodyguard for many years, and eventually became the protector of the Order's reliquary, and the leader of its military branch. As for Brother Tychon, he is an aristocrat by birth. He has an excellent education and could have lived in luxury, had he not renounced secular life for the sake of ascetic vows. He is intelligent, thoughtful, well-read, and most importantly, genuinely merciful. Few things can be said about the Ocnamos Nigmus. He has never been famous for his prowess in battle or his sermons, but the monastery has never wanted for anything on his watch. He is a most reasonable and unobtrusive individual. There is another candidate as well, Elder Inkrant, but his flock is very small. Inkrant belongs to Malpians and was recently accepted into the Order. The priesthood assumes that, as an abbot, he would not push hard for searching of shrines, but, on the contrary, would preach the bliss of ignorance, hindering the comprehension of Saint Contagious's wisdom. What will my companions say? I have sympathy for Prioress Lugentia. Let her meet with Reverend Harmonius on footfall. Should he accept her as a worthy leader, we ought to support her. A careful and sensible Okuma sounds like a safer bet to me than a frantic or a clever aristocrat. The voices say that he has few paltry secrets, knowledge of those secrets guarantees his loyalty. Brother Tychon. He and I have met. Back when he was called Tychon Drabstem, he wasn't a monk back then. He was a grandson of heir of Urban Governor of Dargonus, an honorable young man with a spark in his eyes. His ascension would mean much to the Drabstems. We can either go with Lugunio, which will give us rep with the Drusians. We can have House Drivesten. We can go with an Obedient Prelate, which will give us a +10 momentum at the start of each battle, which I don't really want. I don't think that's the most ideal. We could support Elder Ironkrant, which will give us the Into Prelate's Prayers. All allies gain 3 wounds. 7 times each and every day, Prelate Ironkrant says 77 prayers for the Rogue Trader's health. Okay. So we'll get 3 extra wounds. We can get +10 momentum into battles that come to pass. We could get nothing, but choose a worthy individual from Brother Tychon. But I don't want the Drive Sims getting too much power, so let's go with the more Drusian option, because this is the most helpful for us. Let Lugentia meet with Harmonius Dorsolo. If he approves her candidature, we will support her. His Holiness will see the truth. Reverend Harmonius arrived on Foulstone and met with the Prioritas. After a confession and a philosophical discussion in private, he acknowledged Lugentia as being worthy of a high ecclesial station, and guaranteed her the support of the cult of St. Drusus. Prioritas Lugentia has been chosen as a prelate of the Order of the Hammer. A faithful militia is taking up arms to stake their claim to St. Contagious's relics. The neighboring worlds look upon Foulstone with worry and fear, just as they do upon its patron, the Rogue Trader. A little fearful, but, you know, that's just the faith coming in. That's just how things go. Alright, we can go with Indulgence of Sale, we can go with Bureaucracy here, or we can go with Touched by Holiness. Profit Factor 3, Complacency 2. This will give us a percentile bonus, this will give us a set bonus. How is our benefits? We got Complacency of 3, we could go with a Complacency of 5. Yeah, Complacency... The profit factor produced by the colony and the speed of projects in the colony, increasing and decreasing them by 10% for each point. This means it's going to be a lot slower for objectives to be complete, but it'll be a lot more profitable with each step. Let's go with... Are we going to go with Indulgence of Sale? It would give us rep with the Fellowship of the Void, but I don't want that, ideally. Let's go with Complacency. I like that option. Complacency is good. For Janus, it's going to take some time for that to execute. Dargonus is the same, so we should be fine there. We'll chart a new port, or route here. We do not have a link over to there, which sucks. We do have a horrible link over here, which is not really good. How is our stats going so far? I think we're good so far. We have a horrible willpower, I must admit. Then again, that's just the nature of what we're going to be suffering from. Psionics just seem to be our weakest link in most combats. We'll have to wear, you know, warp-specific things to reduce the damage that we suffer from warp. But other than that, we should be fine. Let's see. How are we doing here? We're almost above half level to get into 23, so that's nice. Let's visit. Let's see what we can find in this system before we do a turnaround, because it's clear that we're not going to get anything from here. Well, aside from planets, of course, but I digress. Let's explore. Experience, but nothing too crazy. Let's explore this one. Begin scan. We are given Bones in Desert. We're going to save here. Like so. After analyzing the auger data, the officers were surprised to discover that the planet was once covered with oceans. Long ago, an unknown cataclysm caused the seas to dry out, and turned the world into a lifeless desert. The most amazing discovery of all was the skeptical remains of colossal oceanic organisms, some large enough to be seen from orbit. Nothing too crazy though, just random stuff there. Maybe there will be benefits in the future with each planet discovered, but we'll see. Alright, nothing there, but that's experience all the same. Yeah, we're slowly going to get to level... We should slowly get to the point that we're good. Alright, but otherwise this group of planets doesn't have anything worth noting, so no point in sticking around as far as I'm concerned. Let's just go back and let's go around. We're going to want to warp back here. Bada boom. Alright, we are going to reduce the difficulty here down to unsafe. Save ourselves some trouble. Bada boom. We've returned to real space, good. We're going to chart new routes, and this should link us over. Yes, it does, good. We are going to start by visiting this system, obviously. Making sure we clear the area one ship at a time. We've got pirates here, it seems. So that's going to be fun. We'll save, get ready for the fight to come, and we should be good. Needless to say, we got quite a bit to cover. Violence ensues now. Alright, we'll clear this planet up and we should be good to go.
Hold fast. Our faith will be
Hello,
tested.
Cobra-class destroyer. Just immediately coming in for the violence, huh? No mercy on, hesitation here. Ow. Hopefully this destroyer doesn't, you know, combo us and just destroy our, ship's shields. Ow.
Your vessel's hull is exposed.
God damn it. Just had to ruin that day. Great. Okay. Seriously? My god. That was an absurd roll that they did. Jesus. Okay, we're gonna do this. That'll get us some, ship things. Okay, we're gonna start by doing a bombardment, to say the least. Boom. There we go. We'll just flip you. There we go. Just casually destroy him. I think we're gonna do a swing run here. Yeah, we'll do a swing run. This'll, let's see. We need it to be... Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a swing run. And then we're gonna combo it with a special maneuver I have in mind. So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a swing run. And then we follow up with a strafe. Bada boom. And then we go in for the surprise counterattack. Bada boom. And we will go up to here. There we go. And just blow into the back of the Viper. And we will now restore shields, while also protecting our hull from the front, as it seems to be the most, or the least offended. Alright, our missiles are probably going to get downed, but we'll see how we fare. Thankfully, none actually managed to hit, so that's good. Oh, the plasma torpedoes basically counter one another, that's fine. Alright. We are going to casually flip you on your side. There we go. That is going to force you into a position of weakness. Bada boom. It does appear our shields have permanently disappeared from this part. That's fine. We should be able to take this guy out with relative ease. It's just a matter of actually doing it. Okay, we need to go 2 further. 1 further. Alright, there we go. Alright, we need to reach the end of our movement, it seems. Sucks to suck, but that's fine. Yeah, you're forced to return. But I do believe we can actually... Yeah, if we do new heading, we should be fine. Or we could just do this. Done. With excellent maneuvers, we just minimize the damage, essentially. We did take significant damage, but we should be able to make up for that with significant ease on recovering our defenses. We just need to go to our void ship management. Now, we can either upgrade or repair. We're going to go for the upgrade first and then repair. It won't fully repair us, but that's perfectly fine. Getting the more HP is arguably the best course of action for now. Regardless, we will scan and go on our merry way. Okay, nothing there. We do have 6 extractums now, so that's good. Begin a scan here. We've got resources and provisions. Provisions are absolutely tossed, but that's fine. We will grab the other, you know, mystical artifact on this planet and move on. And let's scan here. We are given phlogiston and traces of meteorite. Before we do anything, let's save, and then we can check the phlogiston. And we will see what we uncover, essentially. The ship's augurs have detected a non-native mineral cluster on the planet's surface, probably the remnants of an ancient asteroid shower. The substance is valuable, but collecting it will not be easy. The asteroid sits right above the numerous underground caverns. The ancient tunnels and vaults are incredibly unstable, but likely not bear the weight of a large group of humans, let alone a shuttle. Take the risk. The crew's expertise made it possible to collect the mineral without disturbing the ancient caverns. And in doing so, we get plasteel. Supposedly. We get plasteel 5. Considering we don't have any plasteel anymore, getting it is ideal. How's our phlogiston? We've got 7 already, so we don't need more. But yeah, there we go. We've got that, and we should be good to go. Now, there is more to meets the eye here, so we've got another planet that we've got to overcome here. And it's going to be Mortis Aches. Alright. Once we get to this planet, if there's any other ships that we have to worry about, I will worry about it, but... Oh. Lord Captain, urgent reports. We've received an astropathic message from Regent Artano Orselio. The navigators are concerned about the fate of Cassia, who disappeared from Urok 5. The Regent is requesting an update on her current status, and he has also inquired about the possibility of a personal meeting to negotiate and arrange the return of the Lady Navigator to her house. The psycho-emotional coding of the received message betrays acute concern. It also contains something like the astropaths have failed to put into words. If you'll excuse my forthrightness, I feel it necessary to tell House Orsilia the truth. Otherwise, a conflict with the Navis Novatal is possible, which, given the certain state of the Corona's expanse, will only play into the hands of the enemies of Imperium. Tell House Orsilia that Cassia is safe and that the Rogue Trader would be honored to meet them in person. I'll see to it, Lord Captain. The Astropass will transmit your consent. Representatives of House Orsilia will be waiting for you on the capital world of Dargonus. Receiving members of Navis Novatal are always a delicate matter. Please make sure to discuss the details of this meeting with your counselor upon arrival. Indeed. But first, we've certainly got one big planet to deal with first. So we are going to visit this uncharted system because this is going to be our next planet that we need to obtain. Because it is going to be handy to have, to say the least. Lord Captain, we have cross-referenced the key characteristics of the system with our astronomical chart data. The planet Verbeo 6 is located here. The problem is, the augurs detect an unusual change in the atmosphere not unlike the massive release of toxins. It appears that something unfortunate has happened to the planet's underground storage facilities. It is impossible to land safely on the planet just now. Unknown ships are cruising into the system. No need for any cog to analyze it. I can decipher this telemetry easily. Xenos. The armory and artillery crews are standing by. Alright. We've got a fight ahead of us. Hopefully we can level up before that, though, because I do believe we can get some levels here. And we should be good. Alright, we get abandoned tech-free space gear, so we'll grab all that. Nice. That's more gear for us. How is our level looking? We're probably not going to level up here, but, you know, it's good to hope. We'll scan this one. Nothing. This planet, then this planet, and then we'll go for the Drakari Void ships. Let's see. We've got a peculiar settlement here. We're going to save here just to check. Because I'm curious. This might get us some experience, you never know. Pay the Arch Queen a visit. The ruler meets the Lord Captain in a shack, considered to be a palace by the people here. The Ark Queen's unusual crown is made of metal coils, most likely parts of an ancient device for boiling water. The guests are served with the finest delicacies the colony could provide. The Ark Queen praises its visit in mangled Low Gothic and calls the Lord Captain her dear brother. At the end of the audience, gifts are presented to guests. The Ark Queen's minister delicately remarks that the best possible gift the Lord Captain and his crew could provide would be the replenishment of the colony's meager gene pool. We'll give orders to canvass the lower decks for volunteers. The most ruggedly handsome among them will be sent to the Ark Queen's court along with other gifts. I don't know, we'll just give them, let's see, they're giving us armor kit cargo and miscellaneous cargo. What can we give them? I guess we can give them some armor in turn. Let's add these to inventory here. Let's see. Alright, so this would be 60. And then we want miscellaneous. Alright, so toss him a flak armor. Oh, no, we actually don't get anything. Okay, whatever. We're fine. Okay, so we just collect it. The Archqueen is delighted and flattered. She hopes the Lord Captain will pay her more visits in the future. We will have to see. Regardless, we now got this planet here, and then we got the Drakari, which are going to be really interesting. We get another cache of an abandoned tech-free base. Lovely. We are going to add this to our cargo. Yep, always add to the cargo. I don't think we need anything else here, so we should be fine. Alright, I think we are good for now. Let's get ready, because we are going to be in for a fight, I'm thinking. We don't have enough to level up, but that's fine. We'll be making do with what we got currently, so let's save. It's looking like we're going to be getting into a fight anyway, so let's brace for that. And it looks like we're dealing with 4 Drakari Void ships, which is not going to be fun. But we should be able to clear them out with relative ease, I think. Let's just hope we have the toughness to actually handle this, but we'll see. We should be able to be capable of handling just these Drakari. It's not that big a deal. It'd be even better if we had an ally, but we need to get the research for that, but, you know, that's rambling at this point. Okay, we're now dealing with 2 Last Hatred frigates. These are going to be really dangerous, however, because of missiles and their potential power, we are always going to have an advantage here, to say the least. Alright, let's move forward, and let's see what we can get into. Let's move here. Alright, start with a blast here. A few misses, could be worse, to be fair. We're going to move up. One more, just for extra measure. Bada boom. There we go. Alright, we're going to do this. We are going to need to... Let's see. If we do this, we want to shunt one away here. And I do believe this gets us just barely in range to get another shot in. Just barely enough. Now, if we flip this ship, it takes some damage. And now, all we gotta do is just get our starboard protected here. and that should be good enough. The missiles will do the rest, I do believe. Yep, you're forced to just take we're forced to take damage on the right side here, but we will be fine. Yep, our defenses are thankfully holding up, but geez, are we taking a lot of damage. No, it seems like you've decided to just go with that. Last Hatred is definitely coming in to try and ruin our day. Ow. Not a fan of that damage. Oh my god.
Flies like a bird with broken
God
wings.
damn. Alright, well. I don't think I need to say what's gonna happen here. Boom. Alright, let's blow the ever-living hell out of this last Hatred forgets. Boom. Flip it. And we did succeed, but we took a lot of damage for it. And my god, did we manage to survive. Definitely gonna need more scrap, though, if we want to keep cranking out victories like that. My god. Void ship management. How much is it gonna take to repair? All of it. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. At least we got the Drakari stuff, so we should... Yep. We got Ghost Plates, which is adding to our cargo. We're adding the Ancient Machinery to our cargo. And now we can go to the planet here and find out what's going on Verbeo 6. But it's clear, going by what the Drakari is doing here, we know what's going on. Swift and merciless retribution is a proper fate for many transgressors, but the Imperium permits using the convicts for hard labor on distant prison worlds like Verbeo 6. To atone for the crimes before humankind, hundreds and thousands of rogues and lowlives toil in the mines of Devon Valencia's protectorate, until death from exhaustion, or some other unfortunate accident claims their forsaken souls. For that end, we go to the pits of Verbeo 6. I'm gonna save here. And do I want to leave it on cliffhanger? I'm tempted to, I must admit. You know what? Let's leave it on a cliffhanger. I like it here. So, here's what we're gonna do. Next stream... Well, actually, before I do, let's see if we got any colony stuff. Yep, we do. Janus is done. Good. Dargonus is done. So everything's basically done. We just need to level up things. Before we do, let's see. What do we go with? Okay. We need to have bonfires of righteousness. Ah, god damn it. I've buggered myself here. Damn it. Ah, well. I should be able to get something else then. We need a profit factor of 50 for the shrine. I am very disappointed in not getting this. I'm really stupid for that. Should have gone with Bonfires of Righteousness. That's my mistake, but yeah. Damn it. Oh well, I guess we're going to go with into Drusium's footsteps. We are going to need a bunch of stuff, though. Yeah, we're going to need a lot of stuff, but I think this is the ideal one because we'll get rep with Drusians at least, so there you go. We're going to go with Dirty Bureaucracy here. Alright, Janus. Let's see. We got to make sure we upgrade next time properly for this. Let's see. Scorcher and melee here. It's a good melee weapon, I must admit, but not really good. Seeker of the Weak, Forest Fortress, or Mechanized Servants. Going with Mechanized Servants gives us a replenishing Scorcher stim, which isn't really that great. The Seeker of the Weak. All enemies suffering from burn, toxin, or bleeding suffer minus 30 to dodge. This could be good, but we need to inflict bleed somehow. Secret of Winterscale. I guess that's really going to be our best option here. We'll sacrifice some provisions for the sake of increasing our efficiency on all colonies, so there we go. And the Reaping is something. Yeah, we're just going to go with the secrets. There we go. And Dargonus. Let's see, what are we aiming for? All allies gain 5 melee damage and 20 damage to their attacks of opportunity. Boots of Victory, which will give us a boost to Imperial Navy. Whenever we perform a heroic act, we recover all wounds and gain 2 AP. That's actually pretty good. And Profits for Water. This will give us a grenade, which deals 18 to 40 explosive damage. If it were a gas grenade, I'd consider it, but no. We're probably going to try and aim for Boots of Victory, I think. Shield of the Emperor is going to be a natural choice, because we want to be Bart Bane. Genetic Memory is probably going to be our go-to here. Yeah. We'll go with Genetic Memory here. Or Genetic Mercy. This is going to give us more people here. And that'll be our go-to. But yeah, no, I'm going to wrap it up here. We've managed to purge our way through Dargonus. We've managed to clear through quite a lot of enemies. Got a lot of, you know, edicts and all that stuff done. Did make a mistake here on the colony management. I'm going to regret it for the rest of my time. Unless, of course, I can remove it, which I don't think I can, which sucks. Is there any way to remove it? I kind of wish there was a way to remove it, but sadly I can't. So, yeah. I guess we won't be getting the Crusade benefits, sadly. But, I digress. We'll try and work around it. Maybe I can do something before I, regret it again, but we'll see. We'll see. I digress. I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I know I did. And I will see you guys next stream. Take care, everybody, and have a good day.